Good morning, wake up gamers, rise and shine. It is time for Friday stream. It's Friday. We should celebrate. It is Friday. Celebrate the fact that it is Friday. Oh shit, I forgot about that. I forgot about the fact that I wanted to fix chat the other day, and now it's broken even more. Now it broke even more than last time. I forgot that I wanted to fix it off stream. Hi, friends. I can see you, but you cannot see yourself. Hello, what's up? I should probably do that. Now the thing is, I don't know what broke, because I didn't change anything. So once again, that's pretty good. That's pretty great. We should look into that before we start doing anything else, perhaps, potentially. Perhaps, maybe, potentially. I do think I have a link that I could do. No, I'm gonna change them. Okay, whatever. I don't know. I don't think that's new. Yeah, you've been broken in your mind before. Anyway, I'll say hello to you first before we get into technical difficulties and the consequences for the human race. Or something like that. Boop. Hello, Joestar. Hi, Burple. Hi, Warren. Hi, Crow. Hi, Weed. Hello, hello. Sadly, won't be able to join during the stream. Gonna take an EEG today and babysit my sister after that. Oh, good luck with your EEG. Good luck with your EEG. There's some good news. We're gonna start, or at least I think I put the good news somewhere near the top that we didn't get to last time, so we're gonna start with some positivity. Something broken, that's new. I feel like it is, though. The last time, like, it doesn't break that often. I don't know if this is the correct. There's the updated version, that's that. God, I've been like, I haven't had to do this in a while, so to the end of the URL. Okay, I will do that. I think your channel ID. I'm fixing this right now. At least I'm trying. I just don't really know what my channel ID is. I think it's this. Do you just add it like after that or not? Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't show you this right now. This is not content, not particularly anyway. No, you do need another slash after that, don't you? You do. Okay, maybe that's not the ID. I don't know. I gotta figure out what the ID is. Like, what is the ID? How can I find that? I don't know. I'll figure it out. I mean, I have to figure it out now because it broke now and I forgot to do it in between streams. Because it was kind of fucky last time already. It was a little fucky. Maybe this is the channel ID, perhaps. Perhaps it is that one. Maybe. I feel like I've already been there, done that, messed around though, so I don't know. Yeah, that one works? Question mark? Exclamation mark? I saw a little, like, extra thing. Don't worry, I have to read this right now. Vote Seppo! Hi, Seppo! We're gonna shower while you fix it. Thank you. I hope I can fix it, at least. I hope I can. I will just try, but I think this is the same thing that I've been using, so I don't know if it's gonna actually fix it or not, is the question. Well, I feel like it looks a little bit different. No, I think maybe it looks the same. Maybe it looks the same. Actually, maybe it looks the same. Oh no, everything's falling apart. Ah, there it is. Okay, cool. Okay, cool, it's back. It should have updated on everything now. I think so. Good, that took like 5 minutes maybe. Okay, that wasn't too dramatic, honestly. I could have checked that beforehand. Didn't though. Hello, Burple. StreamElements bot is also here. Hello, StreamElements bot. Of course, naturally. I've been forgetting to say hello to you for a while. You have been slacking on that. It's kind of like, what's going on? He must have felt a little bit rejected by you if you haven't been saying hello for a long time. Hey, Isabel. Hi, welcome to stream. How's the campaigning going? To everybody who's campaigning for representative of the union, of the chat union, how has campaigning been going? I have 2 pictures in, like, that I'm gonna be showing you. I have 2 images. They look a little bit conflicting. I want to interview 2 people specifically about these images that I will be showing you. a usual professional streamer moment. It hasn't like there haven't been technical difficulties aside from the I don't know the stream capture thingy for like a while. Your campaign has been doing pretty okay. All right, let's go. I'm glad to hear it. I hope everybody has been having a lot of fun on the campaign trail. Isabel also says, I made more lore for my Hogwarts Legacy character. After she graduates, she's going into hiding and becomes a dark wizard in a traveling wizard circus. I like the idea. I like this idea a lot. I like the idea of using magic for fun, you know, for like circus shit. Just using magic for entertainment. Because I feel like that's a kind of, I mean, I don't know. Depends on the media, I guess. But I feel like that's an avenue that isn't explored as much as it should be. I think it should be even more. You vote for StreamElements. StreamElements. I don't know if StreamElements is the most reliable one. I'm gonna tell you that right up. Like, straight up. StreamElements is always here, kind of, because sometimes StreamElements randomly dips and doesn't work anymore. But then again, is that more or less reliable than a human person? Also, should a human person represent the union or a robot? Many questions. We are going to hold the vote on Sunday. I have decided definitively we are going to be holding the vote publicly on Sunday. Just gonna do like just chatting, I suppose. Maybe like I don't know how I'm gonna schedule or like organize that whole stream. We could combine it maybe with a few things. But the main thing is going to be the election on Sunday. That's going to be happening live, and as well as a review of your campaign posters and ads and all of that shit. You know, maybe I could get an interview with the candidates. I don't know. It'll be chaotic, but you know, it'll work. I think. Yeah, I'll just show you that right now. Why not? Gamers, I hope you had a nice Friday so far, and I hope the Friday only gets better, depending on the time zone that you're in. You know, you may have had like a medium amount of Friday. Maybe you've had almost all of your Friday already, and maybe you've just started your Friday. It really depends. Purple says, I can't decide whether I want Tenchi or Zecke's donation TTS as a president of Chat Union. I don't know which one of them to vote for. Well, the trouble is, I don't think either of those have, like, put themselves up as candidates. That's the trouble, isn't it? That's the trouble. I should fucking close that other side. This should also have the chat. It does have the chat. Wow, amazing. So, Tenchi has been utilized in campaigning. Now, this is true. Tenchi has been utilized in the campaign. On the campaign trail, Tenchi has been utilized. However, there's a little bit of controversy about that. Because there's conflicting statements. I've pulled up 2 supposed news articles, well, screenshots from news live shows, I guess, is what these would be. One alleges that Tenchi says if you don't vote for, and then it cuts off. Izzy or buzzed, said the famous canine. Zecke has yet to comment on Tenchi something. These are the breaking news at 4 a.m., apparently. But then a conflicting report was issued just about 5 hours later. I'm sure it's not time zones or anything. Candidate impersonating Tench. Apparently. Chatters demand consequences. Also, Seppo's big cookie to give away. And Euler shock something. We don't know. It's been cut off. So what is the truth here? Like, where does the truth lie? How can we find out? Which are the doctored images? Which are the doctored Tenchi statements? And which are the true Tenchi statements? Now, which Tench is an imposter? No, that one's Tench, and Tench is the imposter? Maybe. It's a bit confusing, isn't it? We're talking about the election, the upcoming election, the most important one. You might be wondering, oh, the American elections, isn't that still a bit off? Isn't that gonna happen a little bit later? No. The most important election, our election for Chat Union representative, obviously. The truth is that Tenchi is playing all sides, so he wins regardless of which candidate pulls the W. I mean, I could see that for him. He's a little conniving, you know? The real Tenchi supports you, says Isabel. Well, that is a claim from you, Isabel. So, the veracity of this claim, I'm not so sure. I mean, we have already decided that if there should be a tie between two candidates, or more, I guess, could be a tie between more than two candidates, on Sunday, we could call upon Tenchi to decide, to be the draw breaker, and just, you do the thing where you put a little treat and a name next, like on one spot, and a treat and another name on the other spot, and whichever treat he chooses, that could be the deciding vote. We can do that if there is a tie. If not, then I mean, we don't have to. We could also just have him vote in general, like put a lot of, like, I think it's 9 people, put 9 treats out and let him choose one, attached with names, each of them as well. We could do that as well. So there's a lot of choices here. Hello, Union. Hello, Euler. Hello. It's Isabel says, Zecke, I'm half wolf. I'm his demographic. Well, that's true, but you don't always vote. You don't always vote like that, do you, though? We know on average people vote for their own people. On average, yes, but Tenchi could be a wild card. You never know. You cannot just make assumptions like that, right? You cannot just make assumptions like that. Yeah. Reviewing your campaign posters and ads, of course. I've seen a lot of them. I mean, I think I've seen all of them. They're very impressive. You're doing a great job. Keep the heat on until Sunday at 3 in the afternoon GMT +1. So whatever that is in your time zone, if you're able to make it to the live election, I hope you will be, but you don't have to be there in order to be elected. Somebody who's not present can also be elected, obviously. We're gonna have to investigate after the fact, maybe. Anyway, if we counted the votes correctly. Did I like your posters? I did. I want to show them all off on Sunday, though. Did I see your most recent, though? Probably. I saw it has the little Pixiv. I think it might be Pixiv, right? Like a little character thing and stuff. I remember vaguely. Purple says we should host a presidential debate on the Discord server and have all the candidates rap battle each other, and the winner becomes president of Chat Union. We could, I'm pretty sure I saw it. We could have call-ins, but not everybody wants to call in, so it could be open for call-ins on Sunday for sure. Every time when I'm asked to find an image, yes, I have seen this. Vote for Izzy at 4 a.m. Yes, I did in fact see this, yes. What the fuck is the background of this? I am unfamiliar. It looks like The Simpsons, maybe? I'm not so sure. Did I see your GIF? Which GIF? Chat call-ins for the presidential debate? Perhaps. Yeah, it's 1 a.m. for Warren. Yeah, bit of a toughie. You're open to debate other candidates? Oh my god, I'm gonna mediate debates between candidates on Sunday. Maybe. I can put it on the possible. This is going to be very vaguely organized. Possible call-in debates. Not against me, obviously. I'm not running, so. There's a smiley. Did I say? I will always say GIF. I've always said GIF. That's how I say it. That is how I say it. So if 2 people find themselves in the mood to debate against each other, we can make a little separate thing, voice chat on Discord, and I can put you in there and you can go at it. And I will mediate, so nothing too wild happens. The topic would be, what do you offer for the chat union? Why should the chat union elect you? Of course. I'll debate people. Let's go. Oh my god, this is going to be extremely unhinged. This Sunday event is going to be extremely unhinged. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be great. It'll be fantastic. I'm also looking forward to finding out which of these Tenchi opinions is the real one, if any. Maybe he'll vote for a different party, Maybe he'll vote for third party, but we don't really have a bipartisan system yet, so, it's not really there is a third party. Everyone's a third party, because there's 9 candidates, and they're all, I think, equally likely to win the position. I'm looking forward to it, Interested to see what you'll do with that. For the rest of the day, can I vote early? You could vote Izzy got your vote. Okay, we could do mail-in votes that can come in early. make sure you like, I don't know how to do that. Do it like, post it on Discord somewhere, maybe in the thread. The thread isn't politics. You could say like, I'm mailing in my vote. I vote for this candidate because I can't be there on the day where you have to vote. Oh, Seb was not so confident in my English free speaking ability. Really? I'm surprised. I don't know. You sound very eloquent in chat, but I guess it's different between, you know, chatting and speaking out loud. But, you know, not everybody has to debate. That is also fine. Every candidate should have all their profile pictures be something that stereotypically extremist lefties would have for the duration of the election. So everybody's just the hammer and sickle. Everybody's the hammer and sickle, maybe, or like the Antifa flag. That is stereotypical, I guess. But like my friend does have that as his profile picture on a bunch of websites, I think. So, you know, I'll debate you in German, Seppo. Let's go. The German debate. Peak content. See you later. It's lunchtime. Have a good lunch. Enjoy lunch. Seppo should just speak German then. And if people don't understand, call them Ameritoid cocks. I mean, logical conclusion, really, no? Yeah, you can't do that. That's why you're blank and offline. Yeah, fair enough. I would argue that every person who's running already is, by being themselves and having their own profile picture, putting on the most stereotypical lefty profile picture that they could possibly put on. You know what I mean? Just let them go first and find holes in their debate. You know, just like wait. Just don't say a lot. Just say a little and put a lot of meaning behind your words. I don't know. I believe in all of you. I believe in all of your ability. You have the whole Saturday to prepare for what you want to do on Sunday, if you want to call it or not on Sunday. Prepare your arguments for the debate. I don't know. Something like that. Purple says, then Isabel should just have the PCM as their profile picture, but every other color than the green one has the soy jack on it. I don't know. I like your thinking. You are thinking with portals. There's a lot going on there. You posted it. Nice. So your mail-in vote will be counted as based on that. I see. Thank you, Isabel, for giving me the reference for this image. As I'm not in Roblox culture, I didn't know. I did, in fact, not know. Very good. The mail-in ballots will be counted. If possible. If someone pulls a PowerPoint, I wouldn't know how to share the PowerPoint. I could figure out how to share somebody else's PowerPoint on screen. You can pull a PowerPoint, although that's not really like usual. That's not the usual thing that would happen in a presidential debate. But you know, we make up our own rules around here, so that's fine. Yes, one plus for Isabel's tally. Isabel's in the lead right now because the only mail-in vote has been cast. So, gotta stay on your toes, other gamers who are trying to grab the position. Man, can I vote? I'm not part of the union. Can I vote? I don't think I can vote, right? I don't think I can vote as not part of the union. So, I'll just cheer you on from the sidelines. Totally not sad or anything. Thanks, Warren. Let's go. You've secured a vote. I can vote? Can I vote? Okay. Isabel says I can vote. Can Tenchi vote? Tenchi can vote. Tenchi can definitely vote. Like we said, he's either tiebreaker or he'll just vote like normally. I would have to film a video of that, though. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I could film a video tomorrow of him voting between all 9 candidates, you know? Tenchi voted. He has not yet. Not yet. Not without video evidence. He has not. You have to remain neutral. It's like, I thought so, right? I also thought more like, I'm the neutral, like, mediator because, you know, I'm the owning class in this situation. I'm just watching on. I'm just viewing what is happening. I mean, in the debates, I will definitely remain neutral. Right now, I mean, currently, I don't have a preference. I am perfectly neutral at the moment. I am the perfect enlightened centrist at the moment. So I think that's actually absolutely fine for me. So do we want to like go over what we're going to be talking about in today's stream? I think so. Also, one more comment though. One more comment on the Tenchi pictures. This one is a much older picture. The lower one is a much older picture than the upper one. But then again, we know how news networks are. Sometimes they like to use that one old picture that's like floating around since forever on all the news webs, or like on all the websites, whatever, news articles, etc. So maybe that is not a detracting point. But it is a much older picture. You can tell because he's not graying yet. In the top one, he is definitely graying. You can see his little like gray beard, and then the bottom one, no gray beard yet. So we'll see. You can be our union vice representative if I win. An incentive. I'm not even a member yet. I'm not even a member yet. I don't know how that'll work. That's corruption, Isabel. Also, I wanted to do that. Stop stealing ideas. Oh no, the fight is getting so heated. The fight is getting so heated. I've heard. I mean, it must be, right? Everybody really, really wants to win the seat. I understand that. Well, good luck. Good luck to you all. Continue campaigning tomorrow and secure more votes, even from those who are not, who have not been as active within the union. Their votes count too, you know? So, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, much of the same old, same old. I have a small addition to the arrested AfD politician. It's really, it's a small thing. It's basically just showing what he had hanging up on his wall. It gives a bit of context. Also not super surprising, but also, yeah, okay, it's this. Yeah, that makes sense. Then we have the good news from last stream, which I didn't get to because, well, time was up and I was tired. frankly, ain't that always the case? We have those all gathered into one section, plus a FNAF meme that's also a Selbit meme, by the way, as you can tell from the status of the Twitter user, from the name of the Twitter user. Then I wanted to talk about Dagestan. I would pronounce it like that, I think that's right. And the attacks happening in Dagestan. Russia is blaming Ukraine, I think. Russia is blaming absolutely anyone aside from themselves for this attack. Viewer submitted video is Crow, by the way. Crow has submitted this video. It's not super long. It's only 11 minutes long, but I'll see. I would like to react to Selbit, more like lol bit, because he's funny. Because he's funny. Then we, of course, have the Palestine segment, which is, as always, the biggest segment in the docket. We have my finish. I'm gonna show you my finished painting because I finished the painting and I posted it both on Discord and on Twitter. Loads of different sections in the Palestine segment. Oh, Lolbit is a FNAF character. Okay, sorry. I'm not that deep in the lore, actually. I mean, we knew that. Everybody knew that. I know some of the lore, but I definitely do not know all of the characters. We're going to talk about the Jabalia refugee camp, as you've probably heard, if you've been keeping up with this at all, of the most densely populated area within the most densely populated area on Earth, so in Gaza, obviously, has been struck by Israeli rockets. Amazing news, as always. They've confirmed it as well. They're not trying to hide it this time, it seems. Then we have a little section covering the online behavior of IDF members, mainly, I would say, but also some other Israeli citizens. Online behavior, dehumanizing Palestinians even further. We have a segment dedicated to Jewish voices in opposition of Israel and in opposition of Zionists. TikTok, yeah, that's a headline. Whose propaganda is it anyway? I like this title. It's an article on the Washington Post. Yes, I made a Washington Post account in order to be able to read this. We have the queer section of the Palestine-Israel conflict, and we have something that leaked somewhat recently that explains what was already pretty obvious, I think, at this point, but, you know, it's nice to have it in writing once again. Then additionally, I've been sent a viewer question. I don't know if the viewer wanted to remain anonymous on the channel or not, but, you know, if they want to be like, hey, that's me, by the way, in chat, then that is absolutely fine. We have a viewer question, you know, I'll unfold it in order to read it later. And we have some queer news, mainly submitted by Isabel. Thank you very much. Thank you. Despite being an early Zoomer, you're a half boomer, half alpha. Yeah, that's honestly, yes. Because my interests are very focused. My interests are very focused on certain parts, you know? So I don't get a lot of culture. Euler says, see, no one would understand Isabel's reference. She could not be a true voice of the people. Isabel counters, saying that is ableism to secure the vote. You can have my vote if you win a coin toss. Best of 3 or 1. Going all in and doing 1. Okay, you're doing coin tosses for your vote. I don't know if that is the best way to determine who to vote for, but you know, I support it. You can do that. Love the gambling spirit. Is Hezbollah banned? I don't know. I know who that is. I remember that guy from, he was abusing his cat, I think. That's Hezbollah, right? I think. Oh, you mean as words? Or is that a different word? Nasrallah? I don't know. What are these words? What do they mean? I can read them. Are they banned in chat? Is that what you mean? No, I can read those. That is actually something I wanted to touch on slightly as well. I love just misinterpreting things that you write in chat as words. Yeah, what does Hezbollah like that mean? Hezbollah is like an online content creator as well. I'm sorry. I don't know. Oh, nice. Very lucky. Let's go. Euler won the gambling vote. Very nice. Yeah, I can see them too. That's also one thing. I was like, how do I write the title for today's stream? Because all the things that I wanted to write in the title, I don't think were a very great idea to write in a title, because then YouTube would be like, hey, let's actually not do that. Let's not show this to anybody ever at all. Like, you can say genocide in your videos. I think, like, yeah, you might get demonetized, but I'm demonetized anyway. I'm not demonetized completely, you know, like limited monetization. You will probably get that if you say genocide. So like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever. But if you put it in the title, that's a bit more severe. So I don't want to put it in the title, because then maybe nobody's gonna see it. And I was gonna win that. A heads in 1 of 3 times was very likely. Well, it was a 1 time though. We went all in. So is it rigged though? Isabel? Is it rigged? Anyway, the small addition to the AfD politician who was arrested. But when you put it together, they did not appear. Huh? That's interesting. Yeah, it didn't appear for me either, and I'm on live chat as well. So, yeah, that's interesting. So, maybe you were wondering, what, if you remember last week, and I think, like, in the German stream is when I talked about it, but also earlier this week, I also talked about it. There was a 22-year-old AfD politician who had been voted into the, like, Bavarian Congress, basically. And he was arrested. He had a warrant out for his arrest, and he was then arrested, and he's going to be trialed later for something they didn't want to say. Well, it was probably Volksverhetzung. So why did this happen to this young man? What could he have possibly done? Well, apparently he had hung up this text on his wall. To take notes again, says this tweet. This is the text that the AfD politician Halemba, that's his name by the way, hung on his wall. This is Himmler's order for the Lebensborn campaign. He orders the SS men to impregnate German women of good blood. You have that hanging on your wall. Do you want me to believe that you get bitches? I doubt it. I am doubting it. I am doubting it. What do such people do in German parliaments? Good question. Nothing, hopefully, anymore after this, since he's been called out for it. He's been arrested. He's been taken to court for it now. So I hope he will not, in fact, be returning to the German parliament, because this is quite fucked up. Yeah, it's blocking your message, Warren, yeah. That's indeed the original Nazi stuff. That is the original Nazi stuff. I mean, Heinrich Himmler is about as original OG Nazi stuff as you can get. So, you know, they're like up there. Imagine, though, why do you hang this on your wall? Especially this one. Is this like, are you trying to motivate yourself to get laid? I'm thinking. I feel like there's like... Also, is the chat on screen broken again? Oh no, yeah, it's not moving. I didn't even notice that. Why is it bad today? Why is technology breaking? I refreshed it, so it should work, but... So, is this supposed to, like, inspire you to be able to get laid and, you know, continue the Aryan, the German bloodline or something like that, or what exactly is the purpose of hanging this up on your wall? You cannot convince me that that is not the case. Oh, fucking chat, dude. Why is it like that? Was it like that on the other screen too? Was it not moving on the other screen too? Do you know, or do you not know? I mean, I don't know either. Is it? But it is the URL. Just making hissing sounds at this point. I mean, I can just refresh it all the time, but that's not how it works. That's not how that's supposed to work. Did it work on the other screen? Do you know? Do you remember? Because I don't remember. Not great. Now I'm thinking about how I can fix this, but I don't know how to fix it, obviously. Yeah, anyway, this was posted. Yeah, testing if chat scrolls on screen. It does, in fact, not do that, which is very bad, because that's the purpose of chat. So, I already posted... Well, I mean, I honestly didn't change anything from the last one. I don't know if it's more broken again or not. No, there's nothing, like, else in this thread thing, so I don't know what to do about it. Just manually refresh chat every 2 seconds. That's one solution. That's not actually a solution. It's just technically a thing I could do. Anyway, what the fuck is that Twitter post? I mean, at that point, I might as well just, like, close it because it's not moving anyway. It's so frustrating, though. It's so frustrating. I don't know how to fix it. It can call... Well, maybe I should close the thing. Or maybe I should reload this thing. Although I don't think that is anything. I'll close the thing. I'll refresh the thing and close the thing, but I don't know if that'll do anything. That Twitter post basically just outlines what we already knew. Yes, he got arrested for being an actual Nazi. And somehow, this guy, at 22 years old, made it as far as to get into the German parliament. Absolutely, absolutely amazing. Yeah, but, like, the thing is, I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to fix the chat. It makes me want to tear my fucking hair out, you know? Like, yesterday was already kind of breaking a little bit, as in no emotes. And now it's breaking completely, even though I did the only thing I thought of to be able to fix it. So I don't know, man. Goodbye. Goodbye. There. Yeah, no, it's like, I don't know. I guess I'll have to Google again. But, like, the thing is, this, like, solution for the chat, because it's like it's like a third-party different type of thing, that is the thing that makes the BTTV emotes work. So it's not like I can just do a different thing, because then that won't work anymore. So I don't know. Tearing the pom-poms out. I mean, you don't have to tear those. They're accessories. You can just take them off. That's not that deep. You can just do that. So you see, you know, where this wouldn't have happened? On Twitch. Just say. Wouldn't have happened on Twitch. Just saying. So yeah, I'm glad that this guy is being investigated. I wonder if anything happened. We could Google that, but I don't know. I wonder if anything has happened with that, like, investigation into him. Halemba, AfD, you know. Anything else going on? 1 day ago? No, I think they're just talking more about what we already know, possibly. Reddit again. It was on Reddit, yeah. It is on Reddit, but, like, nobody else is having the same problems as I'm having, at least not in the comment section. The post is already 1 year old, because that's when I, like, did that. Yeah, they're just explaining what was, you know, behind the whole, like, youth group thing, student group that he was a part of. But I think, I don't know if he's been sentenced to anything yet or not. I'm trying to look into that, but I don't think yet. He's just walking around again. I know that. I know that he's like walking around, he's not being detained at the moment. I know that, but I don't think he's like the sentencing is done or anything like that. All right. And scene. Hello, Shang. Hello. A bit ironic, they'll investigate and arrest this guy, but won't condemn a certain country. Isn't it? Isn't it? It's like, oh yeah, this is anti-Semitic behavior. But, alright. They are a little bit, they're a little bit skewed, I suppose. Same, I mean, there's a lot of hypocrisy in the German government anyway, especially with how they deal with, that. Sure, suspicious. Maybe more people like this should be investigated. Just like a little sus. Yeah, a little. It would be great if they did a little bit more investigation into like our homegrown anti-Semites and Nazis, as opposed to turning their entire attention against those who are moving into our country. Of course. Hello, Shang. How are you today? How has Friday been treating you? We are into our good news segment though now, so that's good. Smiles on, gamers. Even though everything is breaking and falling apart, both literally and figuratively, we can still enjoy our good news segment that we didn't get to last time on stream. From Pink News, Wales government to redefine women to include trans women in landmark gender laws. Let's go. I love good news. Good news segment. Let's go. Wales government has outlined plans to redefine the woman so that trans women are included. A draft on the Welsh government's gender quotas bill, which was leaked on Sunday night. It was leaked. You get like law leaks. It's a Wales W. It is a big Wales W. On the 29th of October, and seen by the Telegraph, proposes plans for a gender-balanced Senate by having set equal quotas for male and female political candidates. Under this draft bill, the definition of a woman will be updated so that the female quota of candidates may include trans women. Let's go, Wales! Let's go, Wales! Finally, some good news. I don't know if it's the funny thing. I like introing things I'm about to say with the funny thing is, even though they're never usually funny. The funny thing is we also have a bunch of less W news, not about Wales specifically. Wales is doing fine, but like all around the world in regards to LGBT LGBT movements, progress or not progress in that case. So good at talking today once again. Law leaks. The law. Political candidates will be allowed to self-identify their gender when running for the Senate, according to the leaked draft. A definition of transgender in the draft bill reads: a person who is proposing to undergo, is undergoing, or has undergone a process or part of a process for the purpose of reassigning their sex to female by changing by changing physiological or other attributes of sex. So like a definition of transgender women then in this case specifically, because otherwise we're like forgetting one half, I think. But yeah, I think they're talking about women specifically because this law is about a like woman quota specifically. The draft also suggests that no constituency returning officer would be allowed to change or make an inquiry in relation to a candidate's identity. Yes, that makes sense. The bill echoes a similar plan. By the way, do we want to zoom in a little bit? A similar plan put forward by the Scottish government in January, damn, that's a long time ago now, that would have made it easier for people to legally change their gender, which was sadly blocked by the UK government. I do remember that. Of course, the UK government being the one to like stop all the progress happening around them. Not very surprising. Good night, weed. Sleep well. Have a good rest. Law leaks. Also, we're still campaigning in chat, of course. I do think these are at least partially addressed to me, so I'll read them out. Isabel says, chat wants someone who represents them, someone who isn't afraid to question Zecke, someone who will deliver them more tenchy and more funny. Much more funnies. I will give chat union free pizza, Freddy Fazbear's pizza, and it won't just be the American pizza, but also the real deal Italian shit. Oh, okay, fancy. Thanks Scotland and fuck you to the British. Basically the TLDR of most like law decisions, isn't it? Euler also says in reply to that, putting myself in contrast to Isabel, I will not make large statements about what I think Chad wants. I cannot possibly know for sure, but what I can do is listen to every single one of you. I see going for the angle of like being able to talk, to connect with Chad. Yeah, I see. Yeah, the UK government is so conservative at this moment, it is absolutely no surprise. No, they're riding the full trans panic wave and everything, so I also am not surprised. The league has had a mixed response from the public. While the trans community and its advocates are pleased with the progressive step forward, anti-trans hate groups and so-called women's rights groups are up in arms. Obviously. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense that would be the reaction. Somebody tweets, the Welsh government is to redefine women to include transgender females under planned new laws. The proposal was revealed in the leaked draft. Yes, we saw, and they're like clapping for it, obviously. Makes sense. Cathay Larkman, that's a very Welsh name. That is a very Welsh name. Hi, Blank. Has someone won politics yet? We're getting close. We're getting very close. No, the actual fight to win politics is on Sunday when it's chat union elections. Chat union representative elections specifically. Kathy, Welsh coordinator of the Women's Rights Network, told The Telegraph that the leaked bill was sure to see men self-identifying as women to improve their chances to selection and push female candidates out. I doubt it, Kathy. Kathy, my friend. I really doubt it. Imagine you want to like secure a seat in government and you just identify as a female for the rest of your life, I would assume, since you're gonna want to hold that position and then you kind of have to commit to it. You're just gonna make like a major life change just so that you can win a seat in this government, which you may have been able to do anyway. It's not like there's no men allowed in this space, for instance. We are putting the Welsh government on notice. Women will organize to fight this attack on our rights. This is a first step towards full self-ID in law, she argued. Yeah. I that would be great, actually. I think full self-ID sounds like a great idea. Yeah, that's actually super based. I think she continues. Hi Shang, welcome. Yeah, I come back here after a few days to find it flooded with politics. It is. Yes, it is. We are pretty politics focused around these parts since a while now. It's been a little while since we've been doing that. It would introduce gender self-identification, which has serious implications for women and girls in particular. I doubt it. With regards to single-sex spaces and services, including the changing rooms, sports, same-sex, intimate care, hospital wards, rape crisis support, and domestic violence centers. I'm surprised that they didn't mention bathrooms specifically. I guess she just refrained from doing so because she had already mentioned changing rooms and such. Again, making an issue out of something that is in fact not an issue. Commenting on the leaked bill, a spokesperson for the Welsh government told The Telegraph that it did not represent the latest version of the gender quotas bill, though they did not say whether that had to do with the redefinition of women. So, I mean, it was leaked, right? So, like, are we going to get the official bill out anytime soon? That might still take some time since it was leaked rather recently. Somebody says, the spokesperson said, our proposed model for quotas is designed to maximize the chances of achieving a Senate comprised of at least 50% women. Work is ongoing on the bill, said the spokesperson. Well, good luck. I'm in favor of that, I mean, obviously. The first Minister of Wales, Mark Drakeford, has been a longtime defender of transgender rights and has repeatedly shared his pro-trans beliefs in the Senate. Hell yeah, look at this guy. This guy is based. Let's go, this guy. Big ups to you. In an almost anti-Rishi Sunak speech last year, almost anti. I think he could probably be full anti, perhaps, potentially, if we're looking at the views that he holds versus the views that Rishi Sunak holds. But, Drakeford told the Welsh Parliament, my starting point is the same as Penny Mordaunt's, the UK minister responsible at the time. Okay. Who said that the UK government's starting point was that transgender women are women. That's my starting point in this debate. Real and true. Real and true. It is a difficult area where people feel very strongly on different sides of an argument, and an argument that divides people who agree on most other things. I wonder if that's the case. I feel like, I guess it could be in certain instances, for sure. But I feel like, I don't know. I find this oftentimes people who are anti-trans in whatever extent are usually also generally leaning away from leftist politics, and most leftists are pro-trans, so like I don't really know how united they were before this issue, but I'm sure for some people that does apply. I don't know. In such a potentially divisive issue, the responsibility of elected representatives is not to stand on the certainties of their own convictions, but instead to work hard for opportunities for dialogue, to find ways of promoting understanding rather than conflict, of course, you know, spoken like a true politician, and to demonstrate respect rather than to look for exclusion. To me, inclusivity is absolutely what we should be aiming for here. Yes, spoken like a true politician. Obviously, he is in fact a politician. But yeah, like, of course, when people online, like me or other streamers, other, I don't know, influencers, whatever, would be talking about this, we would be a little bit more direct, I think. But I think this is a fine way to address it in the space that he addressed it in. Warren says anti-trans always use couple cases as if they are like prevalent everywhere. Yeah, they very much do. The next message, I love how there's like two conversations going on in chat. The next message right after that, I will give spiders not just rights but also reparations from years of systematic arachnophobia. I mean, arachnophobia is a very widespread thing. You are definitely correct about that. I don't really I'm not quite sure where that came from. I'm sure I could find out if I read further up in the chat, but yeah, I support that. I like that. I think spiders do good for us. I'm always happy to see a spider in my room for the very simple reason that they eat flies and like other insects and shit, and I would much rather have a spider than not a spider. I'm definitely pro spitch. It's just funny disposition next to the other comments. Okay, phew. Yeah, that was close. That was a close one, wasn't it? No, I'm very much pro spiders. I'm often on spider TikTok too, although I've kind of left spider TikTok, I guess, at this point. I used to get a lot of spider videos on my For You page. They're very cute. Some of them are very cute. Like, there's little ones that are like blue. They have like a greenish, bluish shimmer. They're very cute. Very pretty little animals. I think all spiders deserve help in getting the leaves out of their net. I remember that stream. I am a true chatter. I couldn't have helped. I couldn't have helped that, you know? I would have just destroyed the net. Also, the spider was fine, okay? I swear. I should have unleashed more spiders in order to help get the leaf out. But where am I going to get those spiders from? I don't know. Systemic arachnophobia is a serious issue that's not being talked about enough. I personally house about 20 to 50 spider refugees in my commune. Admirable. Very, very admirable. I don't know how many spiders are in this room, but it's definitely above 5. I'm very certain it's above 5. And the spider in front of my window, that's not inside my room, so I don't count that. So, yeah. Wait, what? No way. Ticks have a bad history with spiders? Well, all the more reason for me to be a spider advocate now, you know, just because historically my people have oppressed their people doesn't mean that I need to continue this violence, right? I will speak out against it at any opportunity given, yes. I don't remember which. I think it was the German stream with the spider, probably, I think. I'm not so sure. Would you extend the rights to Australian spiders? The huntsman spider is fine by me. Of course, that one, maybe not in my house, but like that's not my personal issue. So why would I even why would I even mess with hypotheticals like that? It's not for me to decide, right? They are not gonna show up there. The huntsman spiders, and there's even other bigger ones crawling around. Orb weavers, whatever the fuck. Blank says definitely not, because we're all just too lazy to clean away all the cobwebs. It's definitely for spideritarian reasons. Obviously. No, you can... you're giving them a space to live, you know? That's fine. Yeah, crabs are basically sea spiders. Change my ponytail. It feels like they're very similar, right? They move in a similar way. There is a crab spider. I think it's called something else in English, but there is a crab spider. Krabbenspinne. Trigger warning? Spider, by the way. No, they're just called crab spiders. Krabbenspinne exists, although I thought it looked different than that. I thought the Krabbenspinne looked different. I thought they were bigger, but I don't know. Like us. Oh yeah, in German we call the huntsman spider a crab spider, but actual crab spiders are different spiders. So, you know, it's a bit confusing. The huntsman spider, we call that crab spider in German, but I don't know why. I was confused about that because the names are so radically different. I could never hate a creature with the word orb in their name, right? They're just little guys. Look, there they are. These are not little guys. These are big guys. They are massive guys. Next segment, no, we're stun locked on spiders now. You don't want to see spiders? You don't want to look at spiders? This is the Sparacide, obviously. The Sparacide Burt Cow 1872. Look at them. They're little guys. Well, like I said, not so little guys. They're medium-sized guys, honestly. Medium-sized. I had a dream about eating a wasp's backside after it stung me and it tasted like shrimp. Huh, Aiden, huh. Interesting. I don't think I dream taste, so even more interesting. At Aiden. What? At blank. Fuck, wrong person. You guys are doing great, don't worry about it. We have another trans W to tell you about, because I'll never get tired of talking about trans Ws. We don't have a full article for this, only a mention of an article. Big news for transgender people in Japan, because maybe you remember things weren't that great for transgender people in Japan until, well, very recently. The country's Supreme Court has ruled unanimously, by the way, that a law requiring sterilization prior to changing one's legal gender is unconstitutional. The decision removes a large legal hurdle for transgender people in the country. Because we talked about this before at some point, that fucking Japan's trans laws were pretty horrible. Well, no more. Let's go. At least not that anymore. It's not like it's a step in the right direction, you know? Ranswender. Japan W. A little Japan W. Small step to a bigger W. I would agree with that. Because obviously, requiring full-on sterilization prior to changing your legal gender, like just on your fucking papers and stuff, I mean, that is basically eugenics. Shouldn't do that. Thank you for not doing that anymore, Japan. Could have done that a little bit earlier, but alas, you know, at least you've done it now. Good step in the right direction. It's very nice to see. Good to, like, show people, I think. Good luck, y'all over in Japan. You got this. I believe that you're going to be able to fight for more progress along the way. I mean, most countries are. I feel like if we look at the grand scheme of things, I feel like most countries are making progress in the right direction. But some countries, as we're gonna see at some point, I think it's down here, Korea and the United States, making less progress, perhaps. Anyway, we have one more good news. This one's a good news with a little question mark, but I think it's a good news nonetheless. I respect that, Theo, I think. What? Well, it's good that they stopped, I guess. Yeah, they required sterilization beforehand, which is insane. So obviously a lot of trans people would just not change their gender, like, legally, and only do it socially, because, well, not everybody wants to be, like, sterilized, necessarily, but, you know. I'm sure some people also did it and have to suffer consequences of that now, because, like, for some people, I know, like, personally, I could see that it being, like, all right, kind of, but still, having it legally government mandated is insane. Anyway. So, do you remember in Germany we have the Left Party, Die Linke, the leftist party, technically in name, but also supposedly also in their program. Now they had there was one person within this party who was kind of pretty controversial, and she left, made her own party. Sarah Wagenknecht made her own party, Bündnis Sarah Wagenknecht, BSW, that's her party now, and she's basically taking all the tankies with her into this party and leaving the left alone. How she left the left. And apparently that's pretty good news. Apparently that's pretty good news for the left. Who would have seen it coming? I did, actually. I said that might be pretty good news for them because I know a lot of people who are not voting for, or who were not voting for the left, or not, being interested in them as a party much because of Sarah Wagenknecht. So now she's gone. And according to information from Zeit Online, since Monday, when Wagenknecht announced her departure, the left has recorded significantly more people joining the party than leaving the party. Huh. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Me, I would have thought. Both at the federal level and in several state associations. And this after years of membership decline. The left is on the up and up again. After Wagenknecht left. Get the tankies out, and the normal people are like, okay, I can join now. This party is actually based again. I'm assuming you were at least permitted to freeze genetic material beforehand. It would be weird to outlaw that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know though for sure. Wie die Linke nicht gelingt, as in reingelegt wurde. Truly, yeah, they were not. This was a big W for them, apparently, at least. This says basically, this says the same thing, just, again, as this one. So that's nice. Hi, Tiberius. Hello. Welcome to stream. Get the tankies out. Make them have their own little party. Apparently, a lot of people who are voting for the AfD have also expressed interest in BSW, Bündnis Sarah Wagenknecht. So even greater, those two can split their numbers, maybe, somewhere else. Meanwhile, the left can grow a little bit and become more viable again. That would be nice, I think. Do you want to see the FNAF meme? Do you want to see the FNAF meme that I saw at, I think on Monday? I might have seen it, and I was like, I should show this to stream. Yeah, absolutely. Of course you want to. That's not the correct link. I opened a different link. This is very important for the political discourse. Don't mind me. Thank you. It's not a meme. It's not a meme even. It's just a video. It's just a video that I found funny and I wanted to show you. I feel like that's a very normal reaction to FNAF spoilers, by the way. I think, is it Ennard leaving Michael's body? ? Okay, the FNAF lore, it's too much going on. Yeah, very important. Should be on news outlets everywhere. Yeah, I think so too. Thank you. Thank you for agreeing with me. I think they should play this on CNN and everywhere. Wait, this. I don't know. I saw it and I found it very funny and I wanted to play it on stream. That's basically it. I think that was a very level-headed reaction. And a bit of levity for stream. Hi, Skandar. Hello. How are you doing? We have no chat on screen today because it broke completely now. Sad times, sad times. It's been so long since you played FNAF. I've never played FNAF, actually. I never have. I'll give this meme a tick, Aggie, good. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's not even a meme, really, is it? It's like always finds a way to get herself with propaganda in there. Yes, and yeah, correct, and what is the problem with that, okay? I think we should have more Selbit propaganda. I'm already gonna hit you with more Selbit propaganda in December, probably. I'm thinking about it. For a second, I felt the vibrations of Matthias wouldn't it be Matthias Patrius? Because of all that FNAF. I will ban Selbit. You can't. That is not something that you are able to do. Yeah, I rescind my sympathies for you. I will bribe Tenchi. I will train Tenchi not to endorse you anymore. I think I can. I think I have the influence in order to do this. I could perhaps. if you do such a thing. Very controversial, Isabel. Extremely controversial. Very, like, bold move. I can't believe you've done this. Well, I mean, it was more of a threat, so maybe... Okay, fine, you'll get yourself a... Yes! Okay, good. Well, then I'm absolutely fine. Then I'm fine. I will be supporting you. The same amount that I supported you beforehand, which is like, I'm fairly neutral still, but you know. The problem is that most of it are shitposts. Not referring to the news or anything, just the Zecke propaganda. My propaganda? You're saying my propaganda is shitposts? Isn't that the best type of propaganda, though? Oh, in fact, you'll get more Selbit if you vote for me. Oh, okay, Isabel. You've tapped into my personal, like, into the me demographic. You've tapped into a demographic that covers me specifically, but very well. I am very well covered from this angle. Skandar says, I remember annoying my mom in 2017 just with FNAF music. Aw, imagine watching the movie with her. You should take your mom to watch the FNAF movie together. I think that's a great idea. I still haven't actually watched it, even though it's very much available online. I just didn't feel like it yet, but maybe I will. I could tomorrow. I have time tomorrow. I don't have time tomorrow. I know why I haven't watched the FNAF movie yet. Everybody's streaming all the time, dude. I don't have time today or tomorrow. Maybe on Sunday. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, same. I will watch it eventually. I just need the time. I want to set aside the time to watch it later. You gotta watch the FNAF movie for Shaggy, aka Matthew Lillard, who's amazing. We love Matthew Lillard in this house. Isabel says, in fact, despite my personal biases, I will support QSMPers for the union. Oh my god. That's great. That's huge news. They're very important to me. They're my little blorbos. So therefore, you know, you should in fact support them. It's very important. God, yesterday they celebrated Dia de los Muertos. Look at me, Spanishing, not very well, on stream, and it was like the saddest stream I've ever watched. It was it was way too emotional for no goddamn reason, but it was also very nice. It was nice, sad, emotional. Euler says Isabel truly has no principle. I'm sure that there will not be a single bit more Selbit in these streams when she is union rep. Empty promises. I mean, it remains to be seen, right? It remains to be seen, but that's a fair point to like to criticize on, right? How are you gonna know? If I don't deliver, I will give you rep. Oh, I don't know if it works like that. Seal, by the way, says I think it's niche. I think that's the word. To watch the FNAF. Cause yeah, fan service. I don't know. Niche is probably not the word then, because niche means like a niche is like a little separated like interest. It's like it's a niche interest you can have. That's like a something very specific. Blank says, the great media arbiter Ian Kaczynski has declared the FNAF movie as garbage after watching it completely shit-faced. Damn, he's just not enough of a fan. This is a movie for the fans, you know? This is a movie for the fans. If Vosh doesn't like it, he's just not enough of a FNAF fan. That's on him. That's his problem, I think. I also think, from what I've seen of the movie, it's probably not like a great movie. But I think it's fun. And for FNAF fans, you can be like, oh my god, it's MatPat! So, you know, that's all that you want. He wrote FNAF fanfiction. Oh, okay. I rescind my take. I didn't know this information. I only knew about the 40k fanfiction. I didn't know about the FNAF fanfiction. What the fuck? The FNAF movie only makes sense to FNAF fans. Vosh doesn't get it. But apparently, maybe he should have gotten it. Huh? This information is news. Do you have sources for this claim? Do you have the fanfiction? Do you have the fanfiction in your possession? Everyone liked it because of two reasons. Three, actually. MatPat. Definitely MatPat. What's the other reason? Shank says he watched the FNAF movie and it was good the first few times I rewatched it, but it became slow to me. How many times did you rewatch the FNAF movie? Here's to hoping the sequel becomes even better. Maybe. He explicitly complained that the movie disrespected the established lore. Well, I think they're like people are split on this, right? Because I have a friend who's very into FNAF and knows all of the lore and liked the movie. Not like loved the movie, I think, but like liked it. Because you have to change the lore. Because do you know how much FNAF lore there is? There's so much FNAF lore. There's like an infinite amount of FNAF lore. You couldn't possibly fit everything into one movie, I think. In order to make it a coherent story, they had to change it a bit, right? And Isabel says the movie is based on the books. Oh, so he's doing the weird stuff with like the... where he's harvesting this weird like material. I don't know. 5 or more you did, Shang. Okay. I mean, you're like on the same level as my friend then, who has also watched it a bunch of times. A lot of times. Both books and games. Apparently. I think it makes sense to change the lore, though. I think it makes sense to change the lore a bit in order to make it fit for your movie, you know? You don't have to stick 100% to previously established lore or whatever. Remnant is in both. Fucking Remnant. Yeah, that's what it's called. Remnant. Okay. I need to leave this discussion. Tiberius also said he needed to learn his lore. Shaking my head. I've never played FNAF. I have also never played FNAF, but I do know some of the lore. So FNAF lore isn't just spooky animatronics and questionable deviant art posts. Actually, it's not at all questionable deviant art posts, I think. I would be surprised if that was included in the lore in any way whatsoever. No, FNAF lore is extremely all over the place, very convoluted, a lot of shit going on. Yeah. Blank says, from my very limited perspective of having only watched the MatPat vids, there isn't even that much lore. It's just very complicated. Yeah, that's basically it, right? But also, I don't know how much MatPat talks about the books, because there are the books, and that makes things even more complicated. You can get the gist of it pretty simply. Like, you can boil it down into William Afton and Henry Emily made up, like, the fucking concept of FNAF, of Freddy Fazbear. William Afton built the robots. Then he started killing people. I'm missing some spots already. I'm not gonna. Scott played The Rule of Cool. The Rule of Cool. Lord Theo says, I want Arnold Schwarzenegger to be in the movie. He has like a brief cameo and getting killed by Freddy. Why though? He's like so old now. Like Vanessa, who was in Security Breach. Yeah, she, like, that's kind of confusing, right? Because she's Vanessa, but she's also not Vanessa. Like, technically, she can't be the same Vanessa, but she is Vanessa, right? She's the local officer of that town with a mysterious background. Yeah, like, I've heard that she kind of is Vanessa, but also isn't Vanessa, right? Utah British man. Yeah, Utah British man is also a big point of FNAF lore, actually. He's only British because that one voice actor did the voice British, and then they had to make him British. Kills best friend's kid because his son died and got bloodthirsty and ghost happened. Yeah, see, you got it. Boiled down pretty succinctly. It's all about the Afton family. 40K and Star Wars Legends have a lot of lore to compare it to something. Well, yeah, but you can't compare it to 40K. You can't compare anything to 40K, because then you're like, okay, well, yeah, Lord of the Rings has quite a bit of lore, but not as much as 40K, probably. I don't know 40K lore, but, like, there's a lot. He's old, yet he's the Terminator. I mean, they could put a cameo in, sure, they could. They probably won't, but they could. FNAF lore is that a furry named William Afton, when they realized he had a child slaughtering fetish, and then things went downhill from there. Well, there were some reasons for that, but he is a furry. He is 100% a furry. That is true. That is canon, I think. Liam Neeson would be a perfect game-accurate William Afton. Liam Neeson? Wait, can I get a picture of Liam Neeson on the screen? By the way, sorry, spider. Liam Neeson. Oh yeah, that's you. I don't know. I don't picture him like that, though. Yeah, I know. Lord of the Rings has so much lore. Yeah, I know. Maybe that was a bad example. Like, Lord of the Rings probably has more lore than 40K. But 40K has, like, way too much lore. There's way too much lore in 40K. Lord of the Rings, I know, yeah, Tolkien wrote books about his lore. I know this because one of my friends is way into all of that shit. Way too much. Thinking about writing his, like, bachelor's thing on something Tolkien related, perhaps. Thanks for the cliff notes of FNAF lore. Now I'm ready to watch the movie online. Let's go, you can do it now. Only now. I think you can probably watch the movie without knowing any lore actually as well. Although MatPat describes William's motivations the best, he wanted to surpass Henry to the point where the loss of his youngest son drove him to take out his bitterness on 5 kids, which included Henry's daughter. Yeah, Henry's daughter got fucked over quite a bit. I'd say 40k still has more lore because it's been created by many different authors. See, it's what I'm saying. It's what I'm saying. It's what I'm saying. Robert Downey Jr. would be a perfect Henry Emily. I always pictured Henry Emily differently. I don't know how. I mean, I do actually know how I picture Henry Emily. I made a sim once. I made Henry Emily as a sim once with his daughter as well, and William Afton as well. So they're a bit different. Yeah, I know. You posted it. It's out there. It's out there. Don't say that. You didn't post it. No way. That's a crime. You would never do a crime. Yeah, I know it's out there. I just still haven't watched it yet. Although the question remains, how the fuck were they able to make the puppet as a security animatronic? Like, you'd have to be pretty advanced to make a live security drone in the fucking 80s. Well, it's Ghosts. Ghosts explains it. It just works. It's supernatural. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. The trailer, you mean? Yeah, the trailer you meant. You meant the trailer, duh. Very long trailer. It loops. It's looping the trailer for like, I don't know, 2 hours or something. Blank's favorite 40k lore is still the first ever named Inquisitor, Obi-Wan Sherlock Clouseau. No, I am not making this up. That's amazing. That's great. Go talk to Obi-Wan Sherlock Clouseau about your issues. Why not? Why don't you? Sounds like a trustworthy person to talk with. I'm so scared of getting into 40k. Like, I avoid it every day because I think there's so much lore. This could be really interesting to me. But if I did, I think I would never get out and I wouldn't have a life anymore. I would not have friends anymore. I would not be able to do streams anymore because I would just be doing 40k lore analysis and whatever. I don't know. It would be bad for me, I think, is what I'm saying. So I can't get into it. Shang also says, although to be fair, Puppet moved a lot before he was possessed by Henry's daughter, so I don't know. she says, as she owns the Space Marine game, yeah, it was gifted to me. It's really dangerous to avoid the lore of 40k. Then you'd have a lot of friends, 40k friends to be exact. Yeah, I would lose all my existing friends to people who enjoy 40k. Every time I walk past one of those like nerd store things where they have like the miniatures, I point at them and I go, I cannot interact with this. And I tell my friends, I'm like, keep me away from this. And I point at the little 40k dudes. I cannot. So we'll probably be going on to college professor mode if you ask him about 40k. I think so too. It all but confirms that Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau would be an Inquisitor in the grim darkness of the future. Obviously. That's where he belongs. That is where he belongs, yeah. Is the puppet the character a he despite Charlie being a she? I don't know. Maybe. It's okay. You can enjoy whatever you want. Yeah, but not if I lose all of my other interests in life and then it's all just 40k. I don't want that, though. I don't want that. Euler says, I don't know anything about FNAF, and I don't think it's my kind of genre, but see how I didn't intervene once? Even if something is not my cup of tea, I care about your enjoyment. I care for the union. Amazing. So true. You didn't even start screaming incoherently when people started talking about FNAF. That's quite the feat. Not everybody can do that. What do you mean you'd use your life? Aren't you a VTuber with life? Joking, please don't kill me. No, you're right. It's already pretty small. I can't lose what I've left, you know? We're going full discussion on other things before the FNAF tangent. The FNAF tangent, the FNAF tangent has taken it over, you know? We will return, though. We will get out of the tangent. I think we're at... This is a good point. Nerd store thing, girl. I will punch. Because that ain't no nerd shop. It's a hobby shop. I mean, you know what I mean, though. Yeah, it's a hobby shop. It is, but you could also call it a nerd store thing. Shank's consensus for the film right now is 8 out of 10 for the FNAF movie, 4 out of 10 as a horror movie, but 6 out of 10 as a film itself. As a FNAF movie. Yeah. Okay, I can see that. I think I can see that, yeah. I think it's not probably very scary or anything, but... A hobby for nerds. I am a nerd. I mean, right? I sympathize. I sympathize. Tangential difficulties. Please stand by. I do love going... you gotta go on tangents every now and then. It's fine. Isabel says, despite my personal biases, I will accept cringe media tastes and will speak for those people's rights to like that media. See? Very good, very good. See, you also managed to utilize this for your campaign. You were able to predict how the jump scares will go. It startled you, but not as much as, like, scared you. Yeah, it would be. I mean, it's the FNAF movie. Coming from the FNAF games. They gotta just put jump scares in there, aside from... and not, like, actually build the horror, you know? Only people who do it for the art and not the play factor. The nerds? This is true chat libertarianism. You should all live out the potential to talk about things dear to your heart, and I am here to endorse it. Freedom. We've gone on tangents, but will we ever go on sinuses? No. How about cosinuses? Maybe, perhaps. I'm pouring myself a glass of water for the cosinus tangents coming up. Although that one scene tugged at Chang's heartstrings a bit as a former FNAF fan. It's emotional? No way. Anyway, we should talk about news again. It's gonna get pretty serious, so news time. Tangent over. No more FNAF. I brought this upon myself, but I didn't see it coming somehow. We're going to be talking about Dagestan. DW covered this, which is like mainly German. Yeah, it's mainly a German, like, European news outlet thing. Newsiesness, please don't ban me. Oh, I'll consider it. Squinting at you. Yeah, I just drank water out of my own free will. I know, that's crazy. I don't usually do that, but I have water here and I remembered it, so... There we go. The memes are dead and the news is happening. Exactly. Because there's never memes about the news. So this is an article stating... I hope this article breaks down the entire thing a little bit. I'm assuming yes, because I don't know everything that happened yet. And I want to learn what happened. Russia blames Ukraine for Dagestan riot targeting Israelis. I've seen it called plenty of different things. I've seen it called a... do you say pogrom in English as well? In German you do. I've seen it called a pogrom. I've seen it called a riot. I've seen it called an attack, I guess. So we will see. We will read what happened here. Hundreds of protesters stormed an airport in Russia's Muslim-majority Dagestan, seeking to attack Jewish passengers arriving from Israel. Ukraine has rejected accusations from Moscow that it has orchestrated the unrest. Yeah, it's very unlikely. It's very unlikely. I think they have other things to do aside from doing this. Russia on Monday accused Ukraine of fomenting an anti-Israel riot that broke out at an airport in the southwest region of Dagestan. Of course, obviously, I condemn this action. I mean, I think that's pretty clear. This is just actual anti-Semitism taking place in Russia that has nothing to do with being pro-Palestinian or anything. This is just anti-Semitism taking place. The criminal Kiev regime played a direct, high-tension and key role in carrying out the latest destructive acts, says Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Maria Zakharova in a statement. Yeah, pogrom is an English word too. I know this because they used it in the Castlevania show once. Aha! Now we know. I love learning words from like the most unlikely sources. It's great. Hundreds of rioters, most of them young men, broke through barriers at the Machachkala airport late on Sunday, looking for Jewish passengers arriving on a flight from the Israeli city of Tel Aviv. Video footage showed many charging onto the runway, waving Palestinian flags and shouting Allahu Akbar, or God is the greatest. Some of the group tried to overturn a police car. I think this is obviously, don't do this. point blank, period, don't do this. I mean, I don't think I'm speaking to anybody in this chat who would do this, but this is an anti-Semitic attack on people who are they're not even in the country. They're not the government. You don't know what the fuck these people are doing. They're just Jewish people. They might not be Zionists. You don't fucking know that. Don't do this. Wash covered this as well. Hell yeah, very good. I have had so little time to watch Wash streams recently. It's crazy. Yeah, it's too much racism out there. It's very scary. It very much is. Yeah, Russia is that one spoiled kid in kindergarten blaming all the other guys, even when it's their own fault. They would rather blame anybody else, as long as it's not them. I've seen that clip of the police car van on Vash's stream. Oh my god, you know. At least 20 people were injured in the unrest. Russian police says that they arrested 60 people. Yeah, this is the clip, I guess. I hope it's
a huge crowd takes
violent.
Control of the airport in Makhachkala, voicing their support for Gaza. Videos posted on social media show how protesters broke through doors and barriers, with staff members trying to deter them. Some made their way to the runway. They were reportedly looking for Israeli citizens after a plane arrived from Israel. Authorities...
Yeah, definitely do not do this. Yes, of course, the solution for violent racism. More violent racism. Obviously, this is not going to help anybody. This is not going to help the situation. These people, this is not fucking Netanyahu arriving with a plane. You're targeting the wrong people here.
These closed the airport and security forces were deployed at the site. Dagestan's religious leader has called for calm.
This issue cannot be resolved in this way. We will talk with the relevant people and will continue to try to resolve the issue differently. Not with emotions, not with rallies, in an appropriate way.
After the incident in Makhachkala, Israel called on Russia to protect its citizens. The airport will remain closed for now.
Mm-hmm. Because while this is all happening, we do need to keep in mind that anti-Semitism is a real issue that is still on the rise globally. So let's not forget about that, yes. Hello, Nessie. Hi. How are you today? We are gonna vote for a chat union representative soon. Just keeping you up to date. Also, of course, Russia would never do this. They're just a little guy. They would never. It must be Ukraine somehow. How the fuck would this be orchestrated by Ukraine? How would you even do that? As if you are fucking Vladimir Zelensky, how are you gonna do this? Doesn't matter. He did it somehow. Somehow we can blame him for this. Ukraine rejects Moscow's claims. Of course. Ukrainian presidential advisor Mikhailo Podolyak dismisses Russia's allegations, telling the Reuters news agency that Kiev had no role in these riots. Of course, Ukraine has nothing to do with the latest large-scale surge of xenophobic sentiments on the territory of the Russian Federation, Podolyak said. Earlier, Monday, Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov told a press conference that the events at the airport were the result of external interference. Yeah, that couldn't possibly just happen in Russia, because Russia couldn't possibly have any problems, Russia having problems with xenophobia or anti-Semitism? No, they are fighting anti-Semitism in Ukraine, right? Remember? That's definitely what is happening right now. Couldn't be that they actually have a problem in their own country too, like every country does. Germany has a huge problem with anti-Semitism. They all do. His first name is I think he's Vlad, with an O, right? I hope I didn't mess that up. Hi, Здравствуйте! We're talking about Dagestan. Здравствуйте, Tel. Against the backdrop of TV footage showing the horrors of what is happening in the Gaza Strip, the deaths of children, old people, it is very easy for enemies to take advantage of that and provoke the situation, Peskov said. It's not, I don't think that it was orchestrated by Ukraine again, but there we go. It is not unusual for the Kremlin to blame domestic unrest in Russia on outside forces, including Western countries. It's not even on a very objective standpoint, it's very, like, it's not even, like, a unique thing. This is not a unique thing that just happens in Russia or anything. Like, you can take ownership of that, I think. I think you can absolutely take ownership of something like this happening in your country and just say, we will try to combat anti-Semitism in our country more moving forward, because this happens. Yeah, I know, right? Germany has a huge problem with anti-Semitism. Shocked Pikachu. Who would have known? Who would have known? Sakharova specifically pointed at Kremlin critic Ilya Ponomarev, a former Russian lawmaker who resides in Ukraine. Ponomarev previously provided financial support to a Telegram channel that on Sunday had called for the protest at that's a hard word still. Makhalkhala airport to confront the arrival of undesirable passengers. The channel has about 60,000 followers. It's always happening on Telegram. It's like, I use Telegram for messaging my friends, but it is always happening on Telegram. Polnareff. Yeah, it must be, that must be Polnareff, right? Machachkala. Oh, it's Machachkala. Okay, see, sometimes the Cyrillic spelling makes way more sense. Thank you. Ponomaryov said on Monday that though he used to be an investor in the channel, he no longer has any connection to it. That makes sense. Telegram is wild. I mean, it's anonymous. It can be anonymous. It's like not connected in the same way that like the Meta, like texting services are, like WhatsApp and I don't know, Instagram Messenger or whatever the fuck. So people are able to use it also for good, right? I know you use Telegram, Zecke, but nothing good ever happens on there. Sometimes good can happen on there. There's positive Telegram channels too. I swear to God. Telegram channels can be utilized not only by right-wing extremists. They can also be utilized by left-wing extremists. Or just normal people who just chat with their friends on there. That too. Riots condemned by Germany, Israel, and the US. Well, I mean, yes. I feel like, yeah, it makes sense to condemn these riots specifically. Yes. Following the violence in Dagestan, Israel called on Russian authorities to protect Israelis and Jews in their jurisdiction. The office of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the Israeli ambassador to Russia was working with Moscow to keep Israelis safe. The United States condemned the anti-Semitic protest, while Germany decried the events at the airport as unspeakable and unacceptable. Also, I mean, it is kind of funny to put in juxtaposition how quickly Germany is able to decry this. Meanwhile, of course, they are not able to decry anything that the state of Israel has done in Gaza because, well, we know why. We've been talking about it a lot now. But here they are able to speak out. What is important now is that those responsible are held accountable and that the Russian authorities guarantee the safety for the Jewish community, a spokesperson of the German Foreign Ministry said. I do agree with that. Jewish people should be able to feel safe in Russia and anywhere, and in Dagestan, and, you know. We resolutely fight every form of anti-Semitism, and we stand by the Jewish community, the spokesperson added. We know. The multi-ethnic Muslim-majority Dagestan Autonomous Republic lies in Russia's North Caucasus region. The unrest on Sunday followed a number of other anti-Semitic incidents as the war between Israel and Hamas militants rages on in Gaza. Again, I'm not super surprised that the DW would describe it like that, but I don't really fuck with this description very much because a war kind of insinuates that there's two sides of comparable power fighting against each other, while that is in fact not the case. More streams, let's go, Addiction. Hello. Hello. Hello, yellow. Over the weekend, a Jewish center under construction in the city of Nalchik in another North Caucasus Republic, Kabardino-Balkaria, was set on fire, emergency officials say. Yeah, that's another like snippet, I suppose. Day 35 of cheese. It's cheese week. It's cheese month. It's been more than a month now. That's something. Crow had sent me this video. I don't know if I want to watch the entire thing, but
Hi, guys.
I'm sure he sent it to me because it's interesting, right? I mean, I would assume so. So this is an 11-minute video on the pogrom in Dagestan, how the Kremlin has reacted, by Ksenia Torkova. And Crow has sent this in. This was posted 1 day ago. So I would like to take a look at it, and if we don't have any more to glean from it, then we can move on, I think.
I'm Ksenia Torkova. Thanks for watching my channel. And I want to
problem.
apologize, first of all, that recently I've been not posting much. I have a lot of main work as a journalist.
Yeah, not a problem.
As you can guess, probably. It's not very compatible with weekly lives will be easier for me. Anyway, let's talk about what is going on in Russia now. This weekend, I mean the last one, hundreds of protesters gathered at the airport in Makhachkala, the capital of Russia's Republic of Dagestan, ahead of the arrival of a flight from Tel Aviv, Israel. The protest occurred after messages.
That's basically the TLDR of what we just read as well. Also, Blank says it's a war as much as the war on terror was a war. Only replace the U.S. armed forces with the SS. Like very much so. It's like they are raging a war on what they what they call Hamas. While actually it's more like a genocide taking place, as we all know.
Circulated on Telegram channels, calling on people to come to the airport and search vehicles for refugees from Israel. The crowd stopped vehicles leaving the airport and checked passengers' passports. After several hours, the crowd broke into the airport. According to the Telegram channel Осторожно Новости, people entered every room in the airport while shouting anti-Semitic slogans. Early on Saturday, the residents of Khasavyurt, also Dagestan, gathered near the Flamingo Hotel because of rumors that Israeli citizens were allegedly there. The crowd arrived and started forcing the people in the hotel to approach the windows so they could check if they were Jews, and upon refusal, they started throwing stones and shouting anti-Semitic.
That's crazy. That is wild. So like, don't go to Russia, basically. I mean, the idea of going to Russia at this point in time is kind of like not very close anyway. Wouldn't be my first idea if I wanted to go somewhere else, but like, maybe some people have fucking family in Russia or something. Like, there must have been a reason why they chose to go to Russia specifically. So, yeah.
Slogans.
Aiden says he had a crazy big conversation with your dad about this conflict, and he kept bringing up 9/11 and using living through it to devalue my opinion. Oh, that's very odd. I feel like 9/11 makes sense to be brought up in a sense, as in that the reaction from the public is as crazy as it was after 9/11. The amount of Islamophobia is as high as it was after 9/11, but that's like the only way in which I see 9/11 being brought up there, and that's not really in order to support a pro-Israel claim, right? Aiden had a crazy conversation with your dad. Sometimes I try to change the grammar to make it not like me. Yeah, the chat is broken. The chat broke. Yeah, the chat broke. It's not scrolling. I need to write down that I need to look at this, by the way, because last time I forgot. I wanted to look at it yesterday already, even though it wasn't broken yet yesterday, but I forgot. I don't know where to write this down.
In Nalchik, pogromists set on fire the Jewish Religious National Cultural Community Center under construction and wrote on the wall, "Death to Yahud." Yahud means Jew in Arabic. In other words, it was a real pogrom. What is pogrom? According to the dictionary, it's an organized massacre of a particular ethnic group, in particular that of Jewish people in Russia or Eastern Europe in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. It's an interesting thing, by the way. Pogrom is one of the few Russian words that were adopted by the English language. And almost all those
it comes from
words...
Russian. It comes from Russian. I didn't know that. I didn't know that it came from Russian. I wasn't aware. The chat might be broken, but the union is strong. It's true. It's true. I wrote chat on my hand. Just chat. Will we ever get a ZGG like a Zecke White Nervosa side? I don't know. I feel like that would make sense when you're like bigger, right? Because like I don't think every person that watches on YouTube would want to go over to a different site. So I don't know if that's gonna happen, but you know, a CCC, maybe a CCC, a CGG would be like Vosh streams on VGG. It's a website that hosts the chat, basically, you know, the chat that's shown on screen and everything, and it's nice because it has more moderating options for the chat and all of that, and it's like nice to have that on a different website. The stream itself is still hosted on YouTube by Vosh, so you know, but you can also just watch it on his website. It's a very nice circumventing the kind of shitty YouTube chat. Because YouTube chat has many issues. ZGG maybe, would simply be too powerful. It's way too powerful. I can't wait to see people wearing a pink bandanas and raising the tick flag. Of course, when we do our revolution, that will happen. So it's only a matter of time. Yeah, but I can't say that I have never thought about it, but like I feel like at this size, I don't think it's the best move.
Especially recently, have negative connotations, like siloviki, novichok, the type of poison. That's what Russia can offer to the world, and pogrom again. So what do we have? Russia, while looking for some Nazis in Ukraine, has an anti-Semitic problem itself.
That we all do. All of Europe does, the entire world does.
I will also remind you that in the last several months, the anti-Semitic rhetoric in Russia was strengthening. For example, Putin, speaking at the Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok, used an anti-Semitic slur while commenting on the departure from Russia of Anatoly Chubais, the country's former deputy prime minister.
Putin? What the fuck did Putin say? Not Novichok. I don't know that much. I'm back. I needed to Google something real quick. What did you find out?
Putin. For some reason, Chubais is hiding there. They showed me photographs from the internet where he is no longer Anatoly Chubais, but some Moshe Israelovich living somewhere there. Why does he do this? I do not understand, Putin said after being asked by the event moderator about reports that Chubais was living in Israel. And it was not the only one such a statement. And now the pogroms are happening. The reaction of Russian propaganda was quite interesting, though predictable, and I'm going to talk about this. On Tuesday, October 31st, the topic of the anti-Semitic pogroms in Makhachkala, or simply riots, as they are called by Russian officials.
Yeah, they're called riots. They're also called riots on the site that we read about them on. Hi, Wires, and hi, Super Mountain Guy. Voting is about Chat Union. The Chat Union. The Chat Union wants to elect a representative for themselves, and we're going to be doing that on Sunday. So stay tuned for that.
And the press almost disappeared from the main media agenda. Both the main state news agencies, TV channels, and newspaper websites only mention Vladimir Putin's remarks on the subject and the results of the special meeting on the situation in Dagestan. Arrests continue. The work of the airport in Makhachkala has been restored. Conclusions will be drawn. These are the main messages of the Russian media for October 31st. And all these news are presented in form of, small informational messages, small texts, rather than detailed materials analyzing what really happened. The main message is that it's clear to the Russian authorities who organized all that. And the story is over. Let's move on to the other topics. Meanwhile, the main news on Tuesday were the Israeli military operation in the Gaza Strip and the FSB reports that the security forces allegedly managed to detain an accomplice in the attempted assassination of former Ukrainian parliament deputy Oleg Tsarev. As the FSB emphasized, targeted work to track down the perpetrator of the assassination attempt and to identify other persons assisting the Ukrainian security services continues, end of quote. This statement echoes the main narrative about Makhachkala pogroms, about the involved...
That it is just Ukraine funded, basically. I see. Also, Theo, hate to tell it to you, but we're already pretty international. I mean, candidates from Germany are running, candidates from the United States are running. Isabel, looking at you. I'm pretty sure Will is Italian. I think. So it's pretty international already. To be true. Also, blank. That would have been crazy if Senator Armstrong said Palestine instead of Pakistan. They do sound pretty similar. They're pretty close. Vocally. Isabel, I'm an anarcho-fascist. Watch as my vote increase. Watch as my votes increase in terror. Well, that could get you some votes here. Nothing international has ever failed. International, always success.
Of
obviously.
Western special services and Ukrainian ones in the unlawful actions. Pogrom started on Saturday, but the main TV channels didn't cover it at all until Monday. For example, on Channel 1, news about Saturday's pogrom was first broadcasted at 12:55 p.m. on Monday. A news program reported that Putin would hold a meeting on the incident. The NTV television channel reported the story earlier at 8 a.m. Monday morning. But the anchor began talking about the events in Makhachkala after a 5-minute report on the situation in the Gaza Strip. In total, the anchor spent less than 2 minutes on the story.
Yeah, which doesn't make a lot of sense if you consider that it's a more local story. That should be talked about a little bit more since it concerns you more closely. This is the Internationale that was spoken of in theory. Yep, that's it. That's it. I'm more of an anarcho-Lockheed Martinist. Ah, yes, of course. I'm glad that we can all come together here as anarcho insert blank-ists.
The TV channel did not release a full-fledged story. No footage at all of the pogroms at the airport was shown. On Monday, the Vesti.ru website, a website of one of the main state TV channels, showed the headline, "The Interior Ministry denied the death of a policeman after riots at the airport." And it was...
Oh yeah, that is a very detached news headline. I mean, we know that news outlets are fucking experts at writing the most detached headlines possible. Oh yeah, there was a riot at an airport. Technically kind of true by definition, but leaving out very crucial information that would actually tell you what was actually going on. Oh, you are in fact an anarcho-Eulenist, the only true leftist theory. I love you being a... That's like Karl Marx going up on stage saying, "I'm a Marxist," which I find very powerful. I think I support that.
Absolutely unclear from the headline what kind of riots, what kind of airport, which city those riots took place in. Nothing understandable. The news presentation in many Russian media was abstract as possible. Something happened somewhere. Putin reacted to it, and now he is calling a meeting to punish those who are responsible. So there was a gap in the news discourse of this event. The media reacted to an event that apparently did not happen because it was not shown. Moreover, on Monday morning, Russian newspapers started publishing analytical materials on this topic. The Izvestia newspaper published an article under the title "Hot Heads Who Will Be Held Responsible for the Riots at Makhachkala Airport." It's worth paying special attention to the use of the idiom "hothead" in relation to the rioters, which has a clear positive connotation in the Russian language.
Oh, does it? That's interesting. That is interesting.
It's the name given to an ardent, enthusiastic person. The Moskovsky Komsomolets newspaper, meanwhile, published an opinion piece on the...
See, hotheads. I don't know. I wouldn't have seen that as somebody who's obviously not native Russian speaker or anything like that.
Events in Makhachkala under the title "Putin Caught in a Political Tornado: Long-Term Consequences of the Dagestan Riots." The author of the text, Mikhail...
But Thel is giving us the counter opinion, saying Ksenia is lying. In the very first minutes of the riots, there was a reaction, first on Telegram channels and then further in the media. Well, I mean, Telegram channels would definitely react to it because they're not like centralized media, right? I mean, I guess it's a little bit different. I know in Germany that is not the case. That there is, the government isn't involved in Telegram channels in Germany. That is absolutely clear. In Russia might be a bit different for sure. but they had a bit of a delay in the reaction here from what Senia is telling me. I, of course, don't know. I, of course, do not know. I do see how it would make sense for the media reaction to be a little bit delayed if the thing took place on Saturday evening, because, like, maybe they don't work on Sunday. At least I know, like, a bunch of professions who don't work on Sunday, so I can understand that. You cannot spell Isabelism without ableism. Curious. Curious, Isabel.
Bill Rostovsky shared his view of the situation, which fully coincides with the statements of the Kremlin and a Russian foreign ministry. I will give you a quote from that opinion piece. For official Kyiv, it's completely unimportant that Vladimir Zelensky belongs to the same nationality whose representatives, the protesters at Makhachkala airport, were eager to tear apart. For Ukraine, any chance to destabilize the situation in Russia is important. And what is important for Russia itself is that Kyiv has managed to use this chance to the fullest. End of quote. The fact that the pogroms in Makhachkala were inspired from abroad was also announced not immediately, but only after a 1.5 day pause. Apparently, during this time, the Kremlin was working on its position and figuring out like what to say. The head of Dagestan, Sergei Melikov, said that the riots were organized by, quote, our country's opponents from abroad. The foreign ministry.
I also honestly don't think that these, like, that what has happened there is going to be that big of a step towards destabilizing Russia entirely. Like, it's one more, like, on the pile, I suppose. Like, one more pebble on the pile. I don't know if that's a saying, but I just made it up, so it's a saying now, I guess. But, so I don't know how much, like, interest Zelensky would have to invest in that specifically.
Spokeswoman Maria Zakharova called the riots a provocation, the key role in the organization of which was played by Kyiv. Finally, Putin himself said that Washington used fooled people in Ukraine. This narrative has been one of the key narratives, by the way, since the beginning of Russia's full-scale war against Ukraine. In the Kremlin's Kremlin's version, NATO unleashed a war against Russia by the hands of ordinary, uncomprehending Ukrainians who do not understand anything. At the same time, journalists and bloggers noted that in his speech, in Putin's speech on the events on Makhachkala, Putin never uttered the word Jews. It's difficult to say why he avoided this noun, but it's possible that it has a negative connotation in the Russian president's vocabulary. It's also likely that the Russian president is.
I mean, that is an assumption, but maybe he just didn't want to. I don't know. He didn't want to put a spotlight on that, on the fact that there's anti-Semitism in Russia, which, you know, once again, there's anti-Semitism everywhere. I would find it a lot more, a lot better if our leaders were able to actually address the present anti-Semitism and not just try to sweep it under the rug in any way whatsoever.
He has tried before. No word, no problem. It's no coincidence that after Putin's statement about Dagestan, many people remembered how he has been avoiding the name Navalny for years. So the picture of the event offered to the Russian audience by the state and near-state media is very contradictory. On the one hand, the event seems not to have happened, and they try to forget about it as soon as possible. On the other hand, it's emphasized that this is not the last provocation of the West, and we should be on guard, you know. Sergei Melikov, the head of Dagestan, said on TV that the authorities should be ready for new similar actions organized by external forces, end of quote. He specified that they will try to rock the Caucasian boat more than once. Unfortunately, I would agree that it will be more than once, but not because of the Western provocations. The anti-Semitism in Russia became some kind of new national idea, although Kremlin, of course, won't admit it. But you can hear.
Yeah, just like mirroring what's happening in other countries. Basically, it's not a too far-fetched assumption to say that anti-Semitism would be on the rise as well in Russia.
Absolutely open anti-Semitic statements on the Russian TV channels. For example, one famous Russian actress, Valentina Talizina, was criticizing her colleagues, the actresses who do not support Putin, and explained their so-called betrayal of the motherland by the fact that their fathers had Jewish names. So it might be just a beginning. Thanks for watching me. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Of course. We would never forget to like and subscribe. That could never occur. Putin claimed that people were locked in there at the airport. In her opinion, Jews are not people. I think she's talking specifically about the rhetoric, like the angle of like words of language here. Like saying that he said there were people, but he didn't specify that it was an attack on Jewish people, motivated by the fact that they were Jewish people. Aside from just, people of whatever type of origin. I think that is what she's trying to, like, highlight there, I feel like avoiding calling out the fact that it was a targeted attack is a little sus. Is a little sus. I think so too. I think so too. I feel like you should be able to call it out when something like this happens in your country, no matter, like, no matter who orchestrated it or not. I was somewhere else at the moment. What was this about? This was about the Dagestan attack of people claiming to be doing this in the name of being pro-Palestine, I think, because of course they had the flags there and everything, attacking Jewish people who had arrived by plane at the airport in Dagestan in Russia. But yeah, that is all that I had prepared for that segment specifically, this video being sent in by a viewer as well. Of course, I didn't watch the press conference, so I can't say what his words were exactly. So I'll just leave it at that for now. If we get some more info on this or more input on this in the coming days, then we could talk about it again on Tuesday. But we're gonna be moving on now as the second hour of stream nears an end. We're going to be moving on into our Palestine segment, of course, biggest segment of the stream, as is so often the case. And I'm gonna show you the finished painting again, since on Wednesday, I think. Yeah, it was Wednesday. On Wednesday, a couple days ago, I started painting on stream in order to do some art for Palestine, and that's what we're gonna do. Wasn't it that there weren't even any Israelis on the plane? Really? Is that true? I don't know. The article that I read did not mention anything like that. So, if that is the fact, that would be wild. That would be wild. Hey, look, painting. Hey, look, it's art. Hey, look, it's art for Palestine. So, I posted this on Twitter. I also posted, in reply to the tweet that I showed you last time, where I also showed you some of the quote retweets. I posted this, and I posted it onto Discord as well. And I sent it to my friend, my half Palestinian friend, who then asked me if he could send it to his dad, and he did so, and his dad liked it, and I'm like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, oh, thank you, because that's nice. And then I was hit, shortly after, I was hit by the most terrifying message any person could receive. Can I send my dad your Twitter? Can I send my dad your Twitter account? I'm like, yeah. I mean, yeah, I really don't post anything. I mean, okay. I was gonna say I don't post anything too cringy on my Twitter account, but I do post a lot of block people fan art, so I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I of course said yes, you can send it, because he wanted to share the image and stuff, and so that therefore he needed the Twitter account. So I'm like, yes, your dad can have my Twitter account. Oh boy. Oh yeah, if you remember the Vosh stream correctly, that was at least the official statement from the Israeli state. And I don't know why they would lie on this. That's true though. I don't understand why they would lie about that one specifically, unless they have some sort of connection. That they have some connection with Russia that they want to keep up. That's possible, I suppose, but I don't know. I don't know. Isabel says, I can't imagine the Russians asking everyone on the plane if they were Jewish or not. None of them were, but the plane was, like, Borat type shit. That sounds very funny to me. That sounds like a skit. That does sound like a skit, absolutely. Yeah, it's just for sharing this picture. It wasn't just for, like, I don't know what else you would have wanted to do with my Twitter. It's not for getting in contact with me. Like, I've seen the man. I've spoken to the man before. So it's not for that or anything. It's just for, like, sharing the picture and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, of course you can. I'm glad that you liked it and everything. Hello, welcome back, Seppo. Welcome to Palestine segment. Yeah. Yes, end of statement. You can see this on Discord. I posted it there, and you can see it on Twitter if you have that website available to you still. It's like, he wasn't asking for your AO3. Good thing. No, I don't post on AO3, actually. I do not post. I only use it. Oh, I forgot. Vote Seppo. Yeah, that's been ongoing. Seppo is also a candidate who you can vote for in the upcoming chat union representative election on Sunday. Eule Izzy Alliance. Vote Izzy Eule. Oh, the alliance has formed. The crisis is crisising. Things are not great. We'll go through it. I have some segments in here. I have some segments with support as well. Warning, dad joke. Hello back. I am Aiden. Very topical. I also explicitly remember them thinking they caught a Jew, but then he shows his passport and it turns out he's a completely different ethnicity. Jesus, that's so badly organized. I will vote for whomever gets us more Tenchi screen time. Well, that is a point that Izzy is running. Yeah. Izzy is running on getting us more Tenchi cam. Today he is in this room, so today this might even be possible technically. Where is he? He should be in this room. Yeah, he's sleeping right there. I see him, he's asleep. Yeah, you saw that video too. Oh, damn. Hey, listening while sketching, let's go. Show us the boy. He's on the bed. He's asleep. Wait, I can show you. Oh my god, you're already, like, fulfilling your promises. Wait a second. Oh no, I woke him up. I woke up the boy by taking a picture of him. I thought I was being discreet. Obviously, I wasn't being very discreet because he did look at me. He did a little look-see. Oh no, he's getting up. Oh no, we talked about him too much. He understood. We're talking about him too much. If elected, I will have Tenchi only streams. How's that gonna work? He's not a great streamer, I'll tell you this. You'll regret this. You'll regret this action if you make him stream. He's not good at it. Doesn't even talk that much. We woke him up. That was him seconds ago as I woke him up. On the bed. Okay, I think he's still on the bed though. I think he hasn't come down. He was just chilling. And you disturbed his just chilling time. Zecke and Tenchi need each other. We need them both. Thank you. Yes, we do need to exist in harmony. I think so as well. Look at his little look. The little look he's giving the camera. He's like, huh? What do you want from me? What do you need? It's very... Oh, there. Hi, honey. Hi, little guy. Sorry for waking you. It's not time to be awake yet. Go back to taking a nap, little gamer. You don't have to be up. La creatura. It is la creatura. Can I crop this? I should be able to crop this, right? Yeah, there you go. Wait, instead of chat. Yeah, that makes sense. There he is. No, that's perfect, actually. he bro looks a little bothered on that picture. Yeah, because I was taking sneaky pictures of him while he was just trying to chill and sleep. He's like, huh? Why are you contacting me? You don't need me. Chad, you have this picture because of Izzy's advertisement. You can already see that she is effective as union rep. It is true. You'll get this every day if you vote for me. But he's not here every day. I can't get this to you every day. Sometimes the door is open and he sleeps in a different room. And I'm not gonna get up and take a picture of him in a different room. Okay, anyway, he will be there instead, representing Chad. Just chilling, vibing, even, you might say. 16 gamer and hi honey to Tenchi is covering my soul in a warm blanket and head pads. It's true. Then use an old picture. I'm just gonna lie, be like, yeah, that's him right now. Meanwhile, he isn't even at home. He's like somewhere else. Anyway. No more Tenchi stun log. We actually have to get through this. This has come to my attention in the reflection of Tenchi's eyes. Can you see me? In some of the pictures, maybe a little bit, but they're not... It doesn't work that much. It doesn't work that much. So, this is the post saying if Zionists, as in Zionist terrorists, I think, could kill everyone who disagrees with them, they would. And this is an Instagram video of somebody taking down those like missing posters that they put up in like places like New York and stuff.
Guys,
where they don't make any sense.
Putting razors
and there's razors
in these papers because people are snatching them out, and this is what's going on right now. Tell me who the fuck the real terrorist is. Who's the terrorist? Who does this? Who puts razors on fucking papers? People are snatching them out because we know where the terrorism is coming from. 6,000 dead kids. Okay? Now
yeah, there's the razors. There's the razors. This person saying, please be careful ripping off Israeli propaganda posters. They're putting razors on the paper. This is insane. This is actually not that insane. I would tell you if you are trying to remove like stickers from like right-wingers as well, or like your local right-wing party. Do it with like a little plastic thing or something. Be careful about doing it with your fingers because this is not new. This happens all the time. Just earlier today, actually on Instagram, I saw a post about in my city that there's like more stickers with razor blades underneath them currently again. So be very, very careful because that can really fuck up your fingers. That I can just imagine that hurts a lot. So be careful. You can get like a little scrape thingy, like for removing like wallpaper, those scrape things that you can have for removing wallpaper. You can put one of those in your pocket and take like stickers off with that instead, so you don't have to risk your fingers getting snatched up. You could also leave it up, but like depending on what it is, I feel like it makes a lot of sense to take it down. It really does, especially like what we have currently like around here. Like I've never seen one of these like missing posters, but you know why they put these missing posters up? Obviously not in order to find the people, because the people that they're missing are missing in Israel, not in New York City. I've seen videos of New Yorkers taking these down, etc. Like they're not there in order to serve an actual purpose. They're just there in order to incite more hatred against Palestinians. So it makes sense that you would want to take them off. Same with like, I don't know, like little stickers that have like Nazi like propaganda on them, or like lines or whatever, which we do like parolen, whatever. We do have those stickers around, and sometimes there's razor blades underneath. So if you want to take them off, be careful, be mindful. There might be something underneath, you might be able to tell too. What is on the posters? I wonder if I can find like there's my Liam Neeson tab. I wonder if I can find like an example, like Israeli missing poster, New York. I think it was in New York, something like that. Yeah, protesters ripped down Israeli kidnap posters. Can we see like the posters? Yeah, they're putting these posters up in New York. And people have been taking them down. These look pretty similar to that. For gasoline. That could be one solution to the issue. Posters might burn. You definitely meant just the posters, of course. Yeah, these been spotted all around the place, especially New York. I think they posted like a headline of depicting the women who have been taking down who have been taking down these posters. They put them like on a big headline for, I think, the New York Post, But yeah. Can I see? Yeah, these guys, exactly, these guys. They were taking down these posters, and they filmed them taking down these posters. Yeah, Americans are trapped in the Gaza Strip as well, but they're not I don't think they're talking about them. I don't think that's who they're talking about. Although I've not seen these well, their posters are right here, but I don't know who these posters depict. The New York Post is very, 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 very biased against Palestine, though. And yeah, I have that video. Actually, Isabel. I have that video. I wanted to see. That's Adler. That's them, and they're like on the cover of the New York Post for this month. I don't know. This is not something I had links prepared for, so that. But yeah, be careful if you want to take anything whatsoever down. You know, doesn't even matter what it is. If you want to take anything down, be careful. I do have the video that you mentioned, Isabel, somewhere in here, but I think it's in there. But we're not quite there yet. What we mentioned last time at the end of stream last time, but I haven't been able to look into it yet, is that Houthis? Is it Houthis or Houthis? Is it Houthis or Houthis? Declared war on Israel, but their real target is elsewhere. I'm getting this from Al Jazeera. That is Yemen, in Yemen. So you don't know if any one of these missing posters are American. That's something to look into. I also don't think they would would that help though? Would it really, is there like an actual honest motivation behind it? Because I just doubt the motivation behind it, is what I'm saying, right? What I've been seeing is they put these up in order to incite more hatred against the Palestinians instead of actually like contributing in any sort of way. You know? Houthis, right? Their cruise missiles won't hurt Israel much, but they complicate regional diplomacy, especially for Saudi Arabia. Yeah, Yemen was getting involved in it. Apparently Houthis specifically, which is a rebel group, I think, in Yemen. I'm not super intimately familiar with Yemen. As Israel attacks on Gaza continue unabated, I think. Can I hear that?
Unabated.
Unabated, thank you. With Hamas fighters getting just modest armed support from Lebanon-based Hezbollah. Another somewhat unexpected ally has stepped in to help the Palestinian armed group. Just a few days ago, I predicted that the successful interception by the United States Navy of all missiles fired by Yemeni Houthis towards Israel would discourage them from further wasting projectiles. Because, of course, they have anti-missile services things. Houthis control like large parts of Yemen, so they might as well be a separate government. I see. It's the people with the very honest flag. What's their flag look like? What does their flag look like? On Tuesday, I was proved wrong when the Houthis again launched cruise missiles and drones again at Israel. They never had much of a chance hitting anything. More than 200 to 2,000 kilometers away, Israel is at the very limit of even the longest range of Yemeni missiles. That makes sense. And to reach Israel, Houthi missiles must first evade U.S. Navy ships patrolling the region that can shoot them down. And then Israel Navy missiles corvettes stationed in the Red Sea. Yeah, very unlikely that will be successful indeed. The Houthis are surely aware of the limitations of their hardware and know that even if a few were to slip through, they could only inflict token damage at their Israeli targets. So why bother? The answer is simple. By firing cruise missiles, they are not firing a military, but rather not fighting a military, but rather a political war. And the real target is not Israel, but the Houthis' arch enemy, Saudi Arabia, says this, it's like an opinion piece in Al Jazeera, right? Okay, it gets more complicated. Yemen is just yelling and being proud about their Iranian weaponry to get the West to attack first. Hell, Iran is gonna make nukes. I wonder if they're able to do that. Aiden says, my phone has been a butt and with the internet for some reason, so I switched to iPad mode. Oh, I'm on the iPad. Let's go. I'm on the iPad. Yeah, of course. I'm also, again, we condemn Hamas over here, but at some point being asked to condemn Hamas over and over again becomes a little tiring. Stupid autocorrect. No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean with that. And Netanyahu, of course. Their flag is literally God is the Great, death to America, death to Israel, curse on the Jews, victory to Islam, written in Arabic. Ah, that is a very honest flag. That is an extremely honest flag. That one says it on the tin, huh? That's what it says on the tin, huh? Props to them for their honesty, for sure. You know what they're about, at the very least. Yeah, Iran is very capable of making nukes. Well, yes. Okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, actually. Of course, why wouldn't they? But I would assume they wouldn't just use them without, like, a second thought, either. To understand this, it is necessary to look back at the history of Yemen and its rivalries in the Arabian Gulf region. Yemen underwent a revolution in 1962 that ended centuries of rule by the sheiks of the Shia Zaidi sect. It changed the country profoundly. The predominantly Shia Northern Highlands proclaimed the pro-Western Republic of North Yemen. There's Sunni compatriots in the south aligned with the Eastern Communist Bloc as the People's Democratic Republic of Yemen. I see. Fast forward through a couple of civil wars, unifications, and further divisions, and by 1990 there was a main cleavage between the by then united Yemen and most of cleavage is a funny word to use here. Most of the Arab world. Yemen opposed the intervention of non-Arab states to expel Iraqi forces from Kuwait after President Saddam Hussein invaded Iraq's smaller neighbor. Yes. Zionists are Holocaust revisionists who called the survivors weak. Yep, we're gonna get into more like Holocaust survivors' voices as well. Soon. I have that lined up. Saudi Arabia, which backed the U.S. military intervention, retorted by expelling nearly 1 million Yemeni workers from the kingdom. For Yemen, already a poor nation, this meant additional economic hardship. Meanwhile, a long-running contest for influence in the Middle East between Saudi Arabia and Iran has found a fresh theater in Yemen. There is a lot going on down there, isn't there? Where a full-scale civil war was erupted in 2014. Both powers meddled in the conflict. Riyadh openly sending in a loose Arab-African coalition. Iran not sending its own troops, but fully backing the Houthis. Nearly 100,000 children have died from starvation among the 400,000 who have lost their lives from fighting or famine in the war that has proven to be one of the bloodiest conflicts for civilizations in the 21st century. Holy shit. Aaron says the divide between Islam, from what I understand, is pretty dumb. It literally only happened because they couldn't agree who should lead them after Muhammad died. Yeah, I've heard about it. Like, I've heard about it as kind of a dumb thing to say, but I am vaguely familiar between, like, this huge split between these two, like, factions and the reasons for it. I'm about there with my knowledge on that matter. It's literal hell. It is literal hell, though. Like, these numbers are insane. These are insanely high numbers. That conflict has somewhat abated as they use big words. Stopped, I suppose. Or like slowed down, I suppose, for the last year. But Yemen still has two competing governments, neither in full control of the country. One is the Iran-backed government of national salvation, based on in the capital Sana'a, which controls most of the territory. The other government, in quotation marks, notionally resides in the southern port of Aden, but its members spend their days in Riyadh, still claiming to be the sole legitimate rulers. That's rough. Oh, it's because it's spelled divide. Whoops. Oh, I see. I see. somewhat surprising. How long is this article? Okay, we're almost. Okay, it's good. Somewhat surprisingly, in March of this year, Riyadh and Tehran responded to Chinese-Iraqi mediation efforts and re-established diplomatic relations after 7 years. It is likely that both states wanted to diffuse the tensions in Yemen, but also to use the relaxation to pursue their other strategic interests. Saudi Arabia had a big plan to normalize relations with Israel. Well, I see. Against this backdrop, the Hamas attack of October 7th. Can you believe that it's already been so long? I feel like it's only been a week since this happened, but it's been ongoing for so fucking long. It's almost been a whole month. In 4 days, it's gonna be a whole month. On southern Israel was an unpleasant surprise for upset for Saudi Arabia. Within days, it reportedly told the U.S. that it was halting plans for the proposed deal with Israel that Washington was trying to mediate. I see. Yeah, hey China. How are your concentration camps going? Yeah, people are not talking about that at all anymore either. In fact, if Isabel said earlier, in fact, I ask any IDF defender, are you really supporting Jews or are you just supporting an apartheid imperialist state? And Euler responds to that, Germany has been really, really, really bad at differentiating between these two. It's so true. Yeah, it's already a month, right, Seppo? Like, I felt it's been like a second. It's been way shorter of a time span, but it's been going on for a month. Yeah, consideration camps is a crazy autocorrect, but I know what they mean. As Gaza was being attacked, the only armed support to the Palestinians, limited and timid as it may be, came from the Iranian proxy Hezbollah. The Houthi missiles launched of October 19th seemed a one-off, but the repeated bigger salvos, a simultaneous discharge of artillery or other guns in battle, earlier this week, albeit completely inefficient, potentially point to a pattern, another Iranian-backed group joining in the Palestinian fight. I guess that makes sense. Meanwhile, the White House said this week that the Saudi Arabians have indicated a willingness to continue with work towards a normalization deal with Israel. Saudi Arabia has not confirmed the White House claim. Yet, if there's any truth to the White House statement, the latest missile launches by the Houthis have just made it harder than ever to turn that plan into reality. Yeah, the conflict continues on, huh? Haven't those somewhat died down? The Uyghur, if you say it like that, detention camps. I mean, the news coverage has definitely died down. But I don't know if the actual actions have died down as well. Because sometimes that's how it goes. Sometimes you just stop hearing about a certain matter, even though it's still just as ongoing as it ever was. Isabel says, as unfortunate as it may be, it won't be the Palestinian casualties, but the self-inflicted Jewish casualties that will tell people that the IDF is wrong, as sad as it may be. Honestly, yeah, that's one big contributing factor to people actually realizing that the IDF is kind of too much, perhaps, to phrase it as lightly as possible, for some reason. Because, of course, but it's a sad of course. Oftentimes people are not able to sympathize with those who are too different from them, and it's much easier for people to sympathize with people who look or act closer to what they look or act like, you know? So they're more easily convinced when they see people who look like themselves speaking out against it. I'm stealing consideration camps if I ever decide to write a dystopia. Let's go. I support it. Aaron said also about China, I found out Chinese youths are pro-government, which surprises me. You'd think they'd be more rebellious. I mean, I'm sure you can't just group them all together into one big demographic that all thinks the same. I'm sure they're a homogenous group, right? Hello, chat. Just checking in. Hi, Cloud. Welcome to the check-in. I just earlier I told chat about the fact that I was giving out my Twitter to your dad. Yeah, to pull the bandage off, people don't care if you bomb brown people. It's true. It's true. It's the blatant racism, right? We don't need to sugarcoat. We do not need to sugarcoat it. You're absolutely right. People don't care if the people that are being bombed are not, you know, white. If they are white, people being, of course, a generalization as always. There is people who care. We know, but like people at large. Anyway. No, you're buffering. I think it's just you though. Resistance around the world. What is this tweet? I name these things in order to know what's going on. Yes, this is this tweet. So, this happened on the 30th of October. Palestine actionists shut down the Elbit system in Boston. Multiple arrests have been made. Business is completely halted. This is a 2-minute video of, like, this happening. Elbit system, this person adds context. I want to just put this in the background. Elbit system makes arms and military equipment that Israel uses to slaughter Palestinians. These people are complete and utter heroes. So this is the type of activism you can do in, like, outside of, you know, fucking Palestine, Israel, because these people are the people who are supplying the weaponry. So shutting them down is a very noble cause and very, very actionable action. You know, like actually things you can do in order to provoke a change, like a palpable change, you know? Yeah. Chants against the police. Who do you serve? Who do you protect? I've never heard that one before. I mean, on German, we have different chants. Aiden says relating to someone who looks 98% like you in the possibilities of how things can look. Apparently not, but that 1 extra percent makes a weird amount of difference. Yeah, because people have been taught to find the differences amongst themselves and see and sympathize more with you know, people of their own, like, you know, race or whatever. Aaron says it's also harder to be sympathetic when you don't show how the people are suffering in the news. For sure, which the news has been covering the side that they want to cover, right? The news covers the side that they want to cover, especially here in Germany. Welcome back to here in Germany. The news is still very biased, and I don't think that's gonna change anytime soon. Yeah, I don't want to pause on this too much. The chant is a bit sus, though. Very easily to read something unfortunate into that. Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Really? I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see that as a weird chant, again, like, for the police. Because, like, the police's motto is serve and protect, right? Or protect and serve. Or it doesn't matter which way around it is. And I find it a valid question to ask who they serve and protect. It's the rich people, it's the 1%. Yeah, German news have been extremely depressing. I don't think we have a Germany segment in this one today, and I'm honestly very glad about it. I'm quite glad that there's no Germany segment in here today, unless I forgot one, but I really don't think so. So, that's nice. I thought the motto was punish and enslave. Not officially, no. Yeah, the average neolib is a damn racist. I mean, every person has some racist beliefs in somewhere ingrained in them, very subconsciously, and oftentimes, you know, if you're every white person, right? If you're a leftist, you have been able to identify your biases, right? Maybe they're not beliefs, they're biases. Biases is a better word for it, right? You can identify your biases, and as soon as you can identify them, you're like, okay, this is a bias that I have. Subconsciously, because I grew up as a white person. Okay, cool. I can now address that and then don't act on that, like, bias, and don't act in accordance with that bias. And then it's and then they can actually make some changes and shit. Chat is so fast suddenly. Sometimes there's a lot of messages in there. No, do you mean Tenchi? Do you mean Tenchi at the bottom? Yes, I agree. It's pretty fast. Well, considering how readily Nazis talk about them or the elites. Well, okay, yeah, I understand. I understand that as well. That's another dog whistle that kind of that could point into that, but I didn't even consider that at the time. It's fast as fuck, boy. So true. Anyway, We all have our biases. We do, yeah, it's absolutely true. Everybody has biases, everybody has like different privileges, and it's not like an accusation, it's just a fact, and you can acknowledge that and do with it what you will. Speaking of, it's not speaking of, actually, continuing on, the biggest news recently that have occurred in the Gaza Strip is the Israeli bombing of the Jabalia refugee camp. We have 2 TikTok videos from Bisan, who I like to show you a lot because she's on the ground reporting, and so we can get updates right out of Gaza specifically. And then I have some more other links for you. You are not immune to propaganda.
This is Bisan from
Garfield. Garfield did say that. That was a bit loud, Bisan. Another update from Gaza. These are often reposts, so you don't really know, but this was reposted 2 days ago. They bombed it twice. They weren't even finished after one time. They bombed it twice. Yeah, but the Zionists need to be called out as anti-Semites. Ironic as it might seem, they actually are, though. They actually are. It's like an uncensored my self-censor. I do that sometimes. I do that.
Gaza, these are the updates until 4:30 p.m. So a massacre was happened just an hour ago in Jabalia, another massacre in Nusayrat. These are crowded places, one in the north and Nusayrat is in the south. And that means there's no safe places. The narrative of that the south is safe is not true. In Jabalia, more than 400 people between injuries and between people have been murdered are now ambulance crews and civil defense trying to take them from under the rubble, from under the fire, to take them to hospitals. The hospitals are suffering from the shortage of medical crews, the medical supplies, the food and fuel. The hospital manager just said that the engines of the hospital could stop by tomorrow. There's no fuel. Another thing is that in Nusayrat, the Israeli army have bombed 24 residential flats full of people who evacuated from the north to the south because they believed that the south is safe. This is insane. People have been killed every single minute. Do you hear this? The bombing is continuous, like around us. People are being killing right now. There is no way to escape this. Ceasefire now. Ceasefire now. We don't need help. We don't need.
Yeah, it's often cut off because these are like reposts from I guess it's from Instagram. I guess maybe she posts to Instagram primarily. I'm not so sure. Either way, yeah. If anybody's still under the illusion that there's safe places to go to, like the south, for instance, of Gaza, no, there is no safe places in Gaza because the Israeli government is just bombing whatever they feel like it. Aaron says about what we talked about previously. I grew up in a mostly conservative setting with mostly white class, but I'm pretty progressive, and you have a black cousin. Not sure how he's doing. Last I heard of him, he was kicked off of Facebook for radical beliefs, but I don't know what those beliefs are. It was around the BLM movement, though. You can get kicked out of Facebook for radical beliefs? Huh. Interesting. I also have a cousin that I would like to reconnect with, but I don't know how to. Because Googling him didn't find him. I'm like, okay, I want to find this cousin of mine. I think it would be funny, but whatever. Yeah, this is extremely terrifying. Obviously, this was. I have some pictures as well. I could show you that before the second update because I'm not sure if this was the first bombing or the second bombing, but this is how this place looks like now. This person is tweeting out, oh dear, my birthplace, Jabalia refugee camp is turned into ruins and journalists are reporting hundreds killed. I have no clue who in my family is dead or alive. Have some mercy. And I mean, look at this. Fucking look at this, dude. It's like, it's demolished. It's absolutely demolished. By radical, they might just mean leftist. It's very possible. It very much depends. You're a leftist radical much quicker than you're a right-wing radical. Like, there's nothing left here. It's just ruins. It's just ruins. We have another update from Bisan. I also hope, by the way, Joestar, like you said, I also hope Bisan makes it out of this fine and alive and doing well and, you know, as fine as you can be. As fine as you can make it out of like a situation like that. I hope the inevitable PTSD that you're getting from this is going to be treated, you know. I hope that she can still live a happy life after, at some point. This is another update. This is from the 2nd of November at 7 a.m. So this was just yesterday.
Wissam from Gaza. Today is the 2nd of November and now it's 7 a.m. These are some updates of what happened today and yesterday after I lost internet connection and the internet was cut off again on Gaza Strip. Yesterday, a massacre happened in Fallujah. Fallujah is another crowded place inside Jabalia.
See, it's another place in Jabalia. Like, Jabalia is one of the most populated, most densely populated regions in the most densely populated region on Earth, which is the Gaza Strip.
A refugee camp that before yesterday a massacre happened there and caused more than 400 people to be missed, killed and injured. So yesterday another massacre in just 12 hours happened in Fallujah, and we're talking about other hundreds of people who were killed, missed and injured. One of the engines in the Indonesian hospital has stopped permanently because there is no fuel. Some of the places and departments start to cut off lighting and any other electricity inside the Shifa hospital because there is no fuel. Today, this night, the Israeli army bombed a place around a refugee school. So this school in Shati refugee camp contained or hosted hundreds of people who evacuated their homes. 10 people were killed inside the hospital this night. These are the updates, and I don't think that there would be harder updates. Every cut off for the internet, new.
Yeah, this one's also cut off again. Like new massacres occur every time the internet is cut off. Like, it just happens again and again. And I saw that too, Thal. Like, it's been a bit more than 2 weeks now, but I don't know. I saw like a graph like that as well. I don't know how much, like how long they counted. But 2 weeks destruction in the Gaza Strip looks horrifying, and they've killed more during this short amount of time than lives that have been lost in the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Now, I don't know how productive it is to compare these two to each other. But I've seen that graph floating around as well. And I mean, it's not like this just happened now. It's not like Israel has never had any problems with the Palestinians before that. It's not like this is new. They have been killing the Palestinians for many, many years beforehand as well. So you could technically add those tolls to that, to those numbers as well. Yeah, the image I've shown you, this was a Demon Mama post that I put in here. Yeah, exactly. The CNN headlines for this reads, it's another picture as well. Like, look at the fucking destruction it plays. Just in, Israel confirms an IDF attack caused the massive blast at Gaza's largest refugee camp that has reportedly left many people dead and injured. This is one of the better headlines, honestly. This is definitely one of the better headlines. I've seen some headlines just completely removing Israel from the headline, like point blank. There's no mention of it. It's just explosion in Gaza. Many dead, something like that. Surprise Demon Mama mentioned, she said, Israel just bombed the largest and most densely packed refugee camp in Gaza. The cruelty on display here cannot be ignored. Do not excuse this inhumane madness. Netanyahu and his light versus dark war are slaughtering innocents en masse. Obviously. Correctly stated. Well, it's just a statistic, so it's like nothing wrong with comparing them. Well, yeah, of course, like the statistic itself, the fact that it's a statistic, it's just numbers, but depending on where you point it out, I feel like then it can become like a personal statement, whether you pull up that statistic or not. Explosion in Gaza. Who knows what could have possibly caused this? Exactly those headlines, those types of headlines from the fucking various New York outlets I've seen, etc. Mysterious explosion spawned near Palestinians who died of a heart attack after. Yeah, basically written like that. I thought he lost the election, so why is he still in power? Who Netanyahu? I don't know. Well, maybe he's just saying, hey, gamers, let me do a second spin on it. I also have this one. What is this tweet? I forget. Oh yeah, this was a breaking news story that was on November 1st. Breaking: Gaza's Jabalia refugee camp struck again a day after Israel air attack kills dozens. You know, from Al Jazeera, where you can get your news from. They bombed the same refugee camp. Again, this is what happens when Western powers back Israel, no matter how many civilians they murder. It takes a lot of gall, doesn't it? It takes a lot of gall to just say, we've done a war crime. Let us do the war crime again. Let us do the war crime again, and then we can do a different war crime, and then maybe we can do another war crime later. Yeah, I think we have a lot of capacity for more war crimes this week. It takes a lot of gall to do that over and over again and never, and never think that you might be criticized for your actions in any meaningful capacity or anything like that. This part, it's been sent to me by Angel Tail as well, these videos. I've seen these floating around a bunch, and they're kind of hard to watch. It's not like there's no gore in them or anything like that, but it's pretty hard to watch because, as you may have heard, there are trends going around in like Israeli online social media spaces making fun of Palestinians, like the Pallywood or whatever was something that was being showcased online a couple of weeks ago, where they like to parody or allege that Palestinians are making up the whole war. It's just made up. It's all just Hollywood. Hence the name. It's all just Hollywood. They're just making it up. It's all just acting and bad acting or whatever. But now there have been videos coming out, different videos of Palestinians who have been detained and how horribly they have been treated. These Palestinians have been detained in the West Bank a lot as well, where, once again, there is no Hamas. There is no Hamas in the West Bank. So literally no justification for doing. I mean, the justification that they have for doing this in Gaza is already tenuous at best. It's not really, there is no real justification, but at least they have something that they can pretend is the justification for their actions in Gaza. But in the West Bank, there's even less of that to be found. And here's a video that Angel Tail shared. It's pretty hard to watch because it's fucking. It lacks any humanity whatsoever, but I think it's still important to look at it. Speaking of, says Warren, before we watch this, Secretary General of Lebanese political party, YouTube won't let me type it, God, just had a speech. Apparently, one of the translated quotes was, if we want to look for a battle with legitimacy, there is no battle like a fight with the Zionists. I see. Like, is this them actually standing up against the Zionism, or is this them trying to find a reason for their battle? I'm wondering. Anyway, here's the video. It's 1 minute 30 seconds long. I'll try not to pause too much in it so we can get through it. I'll read the text on screen. I don't know if I'll. Yeah, it's with this children's song, right? This is a new video trend. Mocking Palestinian detainees arrested by Israeli forces. So they're basically dressing up as the Palestinian detainees and playing this song. Like this, it was inspired by this video said to show a group of Palestinians being forced to listen to a children's song on repeat for 8 hours. That is a form of torture. I've heard about that. It's a form of torture to subject people to the same annoying song over and over again. Israeli journalist and politician Yinon Magal filmed this video as well, with his children acting as Palestinian detainees. Yeah, publicly humiliating a prisoner of war is a war crime, by the way. Yes, Israel loves doing war crimes, and they love posting about it over and over again. It is also, the song sounds fine upon first listen, but it's obviously more about the humiliation than the actual song. of course, I mean, you know that. Probably just another condemnation speech for now, because Hezbollah, will this work? It did work, because their forces are already having border fights with the IDF. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. The singer of the children's song, Meni Mamtera, was reportedly brought to an Israeli army base to perform because everybody likes this fucking trend so much. I really try to say Israelis have been subjected to intense propaganda since birth. That's why so many of them are like that, but all justification fail at this point. Yeah, that word is behind the fucking heart. How do people turn into that? Honestly, like I also, you know, I know this as well. Like there's a lot of propaganda going around, but like, how can you do this, right? How can you be like a family father and make fun of prisoners of war and not feel like, somewhere along here I've made a wrong turn? How can you not see that this is absolutely inhumane, horrible actions? I don't understand. I do not understand. Is it like a torture fetish for Israel or something? Like, I understand you can be very brainwashed, but how can you brainwash somebody to be this terrible? It's like impressive how fucking deranged it is. Like, I've seen TikTok trends, but they're not that unhinged. Having to listen to that while being imprisoned in a camp by fascists for 8 hours is torture in any sense of the word. You are absolutely right. And it's always been like that. I know it's always been like that, but it's still baffling to me. Yeah, and they're like partying. Another popular Israeli artist, Moshiko Moore, also visited the soldiers. Who doesn't have water? Who doesn't have electricity in Gaza? They are going to build a carnival there in Gaza. This is so fucking gross. Who's going to live in tents? Gaza. There have also been videos of soldiers forcing detainees to hold the Israeli flag. Israel is alive. The trend is the latest among a variety of... sorry, I missed you. A variety of videos on social media. I mean, I find like single cases of people being obsessed with serial killers, I don't find them as like baffling as an entire country almost. I mean, as we know, we're gonna see in a second, it's not the entire country, but like an enormous group of people being just okay with dehumanizing an entire group of other people. Mocking Palestinians as Israel continues its bombardment of Gaza. Yeah, this was shared on the Al Jazeera newsfeed. Israel commits war crimes. Western media, oh hey look, a butterfly. Yeah, let's not look at the war crimes that are constantly happening over there. No, let's not talk about that. We can talk about something else. Israel is alive, but Palestinians and Jews are dead by their own hands. Yep, like how is that a thing that they can proudly proclaim? Like this looks like fucking supervillain shit, and they don't care, and they do not care. I imagine it was quite similar over there in the 30s, over here in the 30s and 40s. Yeah, right? They just didn't have social media back then. Fascism is an infectious disease that overrides the brain. That's what I was thinking about too. That is what I was thinking about too. This feels very analogous in a lot of ways, and we just didn't have fucking live reporting of all of this fucking shit going on the entire time back in the day here in Germany in the fucking 30s or whatever. Because in history class, we did learn about the fact that a lot of young kids were very like excited about the war and very much like in it with the propaganda and ready to kill all their enemies, you know, in the name for their fatherland. Like you hear about this, but it's a different thing seeing it happen live, you know? It's a different thing seeing it happen live. It's like doing a checklist of war crimes, basically. They're making sure that they get every single one of them. There was another link sent to me by Angel about, you know, featuring some of the same images, but this time on Instagram. I cannot show you. I cannot turn the sound on because it's very loud. The depressing thing is that this time we do have live reporting of it all, and we know, and it changes absolutely nothing. Yeah, it's like you'd think if the entire world knew what Germany was doing, you know, they would do something quicker. They would act quicker. They would be able to do something, like they would stand in unison against the horrors that are taking place. But no, like, we are able to see, and the world governments do nothing. Maybe there's truth to when. You are taking it too far. You cannot. Yes, we have to separate, Warren. We have to separate between Jewish people and their faith and whatever, and the Zionists who appropriate that faith for their own means, right? Only a small portion of modern Christians do that. Yeah, I know that. So, videos allegedly show Israeli soldiers. Sorry, my bad. Can I zoom back in this? Can I go back in this video? No, I cannot. I will read it again. Mistreating detained Palestinians. Yeah, Jews are not Zionists. You have to be careful not to equate the two. You have to be careful about that. These videos appear to show Israeli soldiers blindfolding and abusing detained Palestinians in the occupied West Bank, again, where there is no Hamas. Some Palestinians were filmed being forced to repeat pro-Israel chants. Again, I'm not turning on the audio because it's very loud and they have like music in the background for most of this. It's mostly not the audios from the videos anyway. Or listen to the children's song, as we've seen. Can I zoom into this a bit? Israeli newspaper Haaretz also reported on police and soldiers humiliating Palestinian detainees with their little laughing, crying emojis in the fucking caption. Israelis have been posting apparent reenactments of such arrests, as we've seen on social media for so-called TikTok challenge. Israel has arrested over 5,000 Palestinians since October 7th. They include over 4,000 workers from occupied Gaza, multiple videos allegedly showing soldiers abusing Palestinians, draping them in Israeli flags, and forcing them to say things like "Long live Israel." Other videos appear to show Israeli forces stripping detainees, and Al Jazeera Plus has not chosen to show these videos, of course. Before October 7th, about 18,000 Palestinians were working in Israel, were some of the only people who were allowed to regularly exit blockaded Gaza for work, right? For work. But Israel has revoked their work permits, and they are now categorized as illegal aliens. Many are being held as unlawful combatants without any charges, and Israel has made it easier to arrest them. Of course, by doing that, using secret evidence in quotation marks. The number of Palestinians in Israeli jails and prisons has now more than doubled to over 10,000 people. That includes over 170 children. Human rights groups say that many are being taken to undisclosed locations. Palestinians who were released report being beaten and held in roofless cages under the sun. Again, fucking crimes. Just crimes. It's like, Israel, would you like to do all the crimes? And Israel's like, yes, please. Rights groups and monitors say they have been denied water, food, medical care, and toilets for days. Like, treating them as less than human. I mean, that's their whole shtick. Their whole shtick is that they have to treat and portray Palestinians as less than human. Israel forces and armed settlers are conducting daily violent raids on Palestinian towns and villages. Those attacks have already displaced almost 1,000 Palestinians. That's the video. There you can see like the sources and everything if you are wondering. Again, the background was just music. Yes. What did I want to read back on? Blank said, yeah, even back in the American Nazi Party was extremely popular right up until Germany declared war on the US, right? Like, even when it took way too long for things, like, for people to actually I guess, understand the gravity of the situation. I don't know, to get off their fucking butts and do something. Yes. Yeah, with like the conflict between Christians and like the conflict between Christianity and Judaism shouldn't exist, in my opinion. I think conflicts between religions shouldn't exist at all. And this isn't a conflict between religions. You know, this is not a conflict between Judaism and Muslims. This is a conflict between the Israeli settlers who want that land and the people who actually live there, the Palestinians. Simple as that. Speaking of, actually, good segue. Speaking of, we're going to talk about some Jewish voices that are being suppressed by the Zionists. Orthodox anti-Jews, yes, exactly, anti-Zionist Jews, where this was the video that Isabel was talking about earlier. I saw this a while ago. I would like to see more. Again, there's a content warning for violence, I suppose. Israel police on Wednesday raided the anti-Zionist Jewish neighborhood in occupied Jerusalem to take down Palestinian flags and brutally attacked anti-Zionist Jews, knocking them down on the road, hitting and punching them in the face. Like, that was obviously absolutely unprovoked. That was not self-defense. That was nothing. That's just attacking them because they know they can. Like, those are just civilians that are being beaten for expressing their opinion in Jerusalem. Like, absolutely baffling display of violence, just for no reason. For the reason that they oppose the Zionist government. That's all. That's the reason. As if they're the voice of Jewish people, as if they're trying to secure a safety for all Jewish people, or whatever they like to claim. As if that is what they're trying to do, when their own people, other Jews, are just are treated like this by their own forces, obviously. Yes, don't, like, you claim to be acting in the interest of the Jewish people, and then you punch rabbis. How the fuck do you even make sense to yourself? Like, can't you see? Indistinguishable from the brown shirts. Literally, they're just acting in the name of Judaism in order to have like a leg to stand on at this point. They don't give a single fuck. They don't give a single fuck about Judaism or Jewish people. They just care about their own interests. And YouTube deleted it all. Yeah, YouTube only tolerates so much. Your girlfriend's ancestors did not die for this. They did not. Other Holocaust survivors say the same thing. I'm going through this chronologically. Like this video clip.
In Israel towards the...
Can I please? Thank you. Can I adjust? When the Nazis gassed the Jews, the world was silent. Now the world is silent while Jewish Israelis harass, humiliate, and steal land from the Palestinians. Auschwitz survivor speaks out against Israel's human rights violations. Like,
the Palestinians is exactly the opposite. They treat them like vermin. They talk about them in terms. I mean, like for instance, the chief of staff of the Israeli army recently. The Palestinians are a cancerous growth. I mean, that type of talking is exactly the opposite, and it's actually like Nazi talking. That's what was said about me when I was a Jewish boy in Germany under the Nazis. No, when the Nazis gassed the Jews, the world was silent. Now, the world is silent while the Jews or the Israelis harass, humiliate, and steal away land from the Palestinians. And the world is silent. And I want to awake the world, because any criticism on the policies of Israel is hampered and made impossible by a terrible trick and crime of Israeli propaganda, that any criticism on the politics of Israel comes out, is induced by anti-Semitic feelings. And our main purpose is to show to the world that we are Jews, and we are conscious Jews, and we want to show that you must criticize Israel if you at all want anything good for the Jews in the world, because what Israel is doing is destroying the Jewish world and the Jewish heritage.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I just let him speak because, I mean, obviously, that is exactly what people should listen to. That's what the German fucking government should watch this video. Like, every single member of the German government should watch this video and, like, internalize it for a second, because that is exactly what they're doing, and a lot of other people are doing as well. Isabel, we understand. Like, that's a very common, that's a shared experience right now on the internet in like our spaces. I think we can all sympathize. I agree with Blank. Like, people, if our governments just listened to this guy, to people like this guy who are speaking out and saying exactly what calling out exactly what they've been doing, I feel like it can't be that hard. I feel like it can't be that fucking hard to understand that what Israel is doing is a genocide. And that they should stand up against it in unison and demand a ceasefire in unison and do whatever they need to do in order to guarantee a ceasefire in unison. But the United States can't understand that. Germany is not understanding that. And so it goes on. I don't know if I want to watch the whole 6-minute video. Maybe I'll skip that for now. But I do have this talking about the United States. We have, oh my god, this woman stands up while President Biden is speaking. Rabbi Jessica Rosenberg is interrupting President Biden, demanding a ceasefire now. She's speaking on behalf of thousands of American Jews who say, "Not in our name. We refuse to allow a genocide be carried out in our name. Ceasefire now to save lives."
Mr. President, if you care about Jewish people, as a rabbi, I need you to call for a ceasefire right now.
And the reception, like, the reception is like also fucking shocking. She says this, and all around her, this woman is standing up, right? This is what this person says too, to demand the end of a genocide. And she's being met with a chorus of boos and hisses. It's absolutely revolting. I agree with this person. I like that other people put my thoughts into words, so I don't have to do it myself. I don't even know how to process this. Years from now, this video might be featured in documentaries. Like, everyone shushing her. Everyone shushing her. Like, what is this crowd? Who are you to boo and shush a rabbi speaking out for Jewish people? Genocide by the Israeli government against the Palestinians living in Gaza. Yeah, they're like, how dare this Jew talk out of turn suddenly, right? Like, a Jewish rabbi, you should by all means just shut up and listen, shouldn't you? Everyone trying to silence her instead of listening to her voice that she has. I mean, she doesn't even need to be a Jewish rabbi in order to have a voice as an American citizen and speak to President Biden, but she is a Jewish rabbi, which should give her all the more credibility in order to speak on this fucking matter, but somehow they don't care. All she asked for at the end of the day was for an end of the slaughter, and she was told to get the fuck out. It was the bare minimum demand. The bare minimum demand. Those who told her get out should go and, get out. Yes, fucking anti-Semites. They are. Fucking revolting. I'll go to this one now. I'm trying to, like, skip ahead a little bit and stuff. Wondering if they would react the same if she was a man. I wonder if it plays into it, yeah, but they might, I guess. Anything that goes against their opinion. But of course, her being a woman might also play into it. It's true as well. we are supposed to be the most free speech country, and this looks like taking anything. This looks like taking anything like that away. Seems like it. Erin says, well, she didn't point out how civilians are being hurt. As far as they know, people think she's one of those people who think Americans should help in world crises at all. Shouldn't help in world crises at all. Yeah, but I think they should be aware of like the bare minimum. I think they should be aware enough to know what she's talking about if they're there in that room listening to President Biden speak. I don't know what he spoke about beforehand. Like, I find that the man pretty like basic, right? Yeah, probably honestly at least it wouldn't have been too different if she was a man instead, right? That's what you're referring to. I think so too. All those Jewish and Palestinian deaths, all those people, I feel their pain all at once, says Isabel. That's great. That means you're able to feel empathy. Of course, it's great insofar that means, you know, you have an empathetic heart and everything, but it's horrible to deal with at the time. Hi, Caliban! Stream is still going, yes! We're trying to make our way through our Palestine segment, but I'm talking too much, and I got... and we got stunlocked earlier. Remember queer people? Are you aware of queer people? Well, Israel is, and they're trying to utilize them for their propaganda.
Who run the world? Gays, but not gays in Gaza.
My first ex-boyfriend is...
So that was their video that they made. Who run the world? Gays, but not in Gaza. Of course, once again, utilizing queer people as a talking
also
point,
LGBTQ
basically.
plus friendly, and it doesn't make him any less deplorable. Also, Gaza has and has always had queer people. They don't not exist there, and they can't run the world when they're undergoing a genocide. But let me humor this take. You're saying that one country is LGBTQ plus friendly, and that is what you're saying to advocate for that country's humanity, right? It makes me happy to know that I wouldn't be persecuted for my sexual identity there. One is LGBTQ plus friendly, one isn't. One has been violently occupying the other for years, as they commit literal war crimes against the other, as they commit genocide, as their government publicly denounces the humanity of these people, all of them. One's population is actively being wiped off the map. One has its entire population wondering if they will ever live to see another day. The ones that are half alive are gasping for air and choking under rubble. The ones that are half alive are in hospitals, slowly losing their lives because the hospitals do not have the power to function and help their citizens because they have been blocked from receiving more fuel. They don't have any fuel to run their generators with. As one is fighting for their right to live and be seen as humans by Western media, as they write their names on their arms in case their bodies are found just so they can be identified. The other is making cheeky green screen videos where they laugh and chastise the other's government. It's funny, right? It's so cheeky and hilarious. It is actually dystopian that this is happening. Now I've put all of the cards on the table. You can do the math. As a comedy content creator whose platform is built...
Yeah, that's the gist of the gist of the statement. In Israel, gay people can't even get married either, so they're not the progressive paradise that they are kind of trying to make themselves out to be in order to garner more Western support. I suppose that is the goal. It's not really working when you look at the truth of the matter. Yeah, it hurts. You say, Isabel, I understand. And that's why you gotta speak out for this, and that's gonna make it better. You know, that's gonna cause at least some change in your community. You know, yeah, I'm gonna play the rest of the video. I will, because I forgot that it was also 4 minutes long, but I will show you the entire video. Just stop in to respond real quick. I'm gonna have to go now. Going to the store with my cousin. Sorry for not talking too much for a while. Oh, no worries at all. Just didn't have words. Understandable. See you, Euler. Have a good one. Yeah, they're currently a little too busy being genocided to worry about queer issues, and as a queer person, I think I can understand that. Exactly the point. Like, they have been under occupation by this, by Israel for so long. It makes sense that they might not be the most progressive country in the world. There's still queer people in this country, so there's still a reason for queer people specifically to go out in the streets and support their brothers and sisters over in Palestine.
Built on joy and positivity. Why am I not just choosing peace and love like I always advocate for and staying neutral? I am choosing peace and love. Choosing peace and love is advocating for the end of the violent occupation of the Palestinian people, as well as the ceasefire. Choosing peace and love is advocating for the many anti-Zionist Jewish folks who have been doing really hard work, who have been engaging in activism and having really difficult conversations as they engage in inter-community dialogue as well, all while navigating their own grief too. Choosing love and peace is challenging the dehumanization and racism and extreme violence happening right now. That is choosing peace and love. That's not mutually exclusive, and it's not controversial for me as a creator to say that. It's really not. Choosing peace and love is doing what I can to use my platform to help people understand what's happening, as other people who are speaking up about this are losing their jobs just because they spoke out against genocide. Losing their entire jobs, as I've been posting on my stories for the past...
Like Starbucks has been pretty shitty about this, is one company that I've heard about, if their employees express any pro-Palestine sentiment.
Few weeks. I've been seeing more and more mainstream acceptance of the fact that what's happening right now in Gaza is really wrong. More and more people with platforms feel empowered to speak out about it because they're seeing what's happening. And you watch, as
Mark
time
Ruffalo.
goes on,
I know that
more
guy.
and more people are going to realize and say, oh my goodness, how did we let this thing happen while it was happening? As we are speaking, Gaza has effectively lost all communication to the outside world. And the Israeli government is demolishing...
Yeah, and they lose it again, and they gain it again, and they turn it on, and they turn it off, you know. It's like, how dare they not worry about culturally relevant societal issue while being genocided, says the one genociding them. Yeah, right? It's like, odd how that happened. Strange how that happened.
The population. They're committing war crimes in the dark where nobody can see them or hold them accountable. But look, it is not too late now. It's not too late. It's not too late to relearn and change your mind or understand that, okay, maybe I have time to unlearn this propaganda-induced prejudice that I maybe hold, that makes me see Palestinians or Arabs or Muslims as less human. It's not too late to rehumanize the people of Palestine in your hearts and minds. If you take this information in and look at the content of some of these creators who are on the ground in Gaza, we can move one step closer to a future where we can live in a world where Muslim and Jewish people can live together and celebrate each other's cultures and live
Gaza
in peace
already had an interfaith coexistence.
Fairly.
He said.
Because as someone who is Indian and Pakistani, I know that I can condemn both my home country's governments, and it doesn't make me any less Indian and Pakistani. They don't get to define who I am. And right now this violent government is trying to tell people that they define an entire religious community when that is not the case. So remember this, and remember that the people of Palestine are humans, and they deserve life and peace and dreams and all of the luxuries that we have here in our bubbles. It's not controversial to call for the end of a genocide. Something that is rooted in love cannot be controversial like that. Don't let anybody tell you that.
Yes, I agree with that. I mean, obviously, trying to live should be taken precedence over anything as well. Like, there's not going to be societal change and a more progressive society in Gaza and in the West Bank if they are all dead. That's not the solution to the issue. That is not the solution to the issue. Aaron says, I don't think bringing up genocide is a fair excuse, but bringing up gay rights in an international crisis isn't fair in general. Well, I mean, it is about the fact that there is a genocide happening. So that's like the whole reason why he thinks that talking about it and being in favor of, stopping the genocide from happening is, in fact, a fair thing to say and shouldn't be as controversial as it apparently is right now, currently. Also, once again, in Germany as well, very much so. But yeah, Israel weaponizing the queer, whether or not they are queer or not is obviously based on nothing. So am I against gay rights? Yes, I am a homophobe, obviously. Hugs for Isabel and Chad. Hugs for Isabel and Chad. You get a digital hug from me. I don't hug people, but digitally, sure, I can do that. Digitally, I can do that. This is also this thing that I talked about, by the way, the queering the map. That's what I talked about last stream, I'm pretty sure, where we talked again about the matter. Are there queer people in Gaza? Yes, there are queer people in Gaza. This is just one example. This is from this app called Queering the Map. And there's like queer people who are in different places around the world, and they make little anonymous confessions basically on this app. This one saying, I wish I could watch the sunset over Gaza Sea with you for one night. I wish this occupation was no longer and that we could be free for once in our own land. Hugs around everywhere. Hugs around. Blank says, Western munitions munitions delivered at high velocity are famously extremely efficient at instilling progressive values in any region. Totally, right? That has always worked. That is the one go-to that always works. There's also the actual website for this where you can check it like live. Lots of hugs, all the hugs for Isabel. I think the map always spawns you in the United States somewhere. It's a bit laggy because there's a lot of posts on here. The phantom hugs. Phantom hugs is a better word even than digital hugs. There's a lot of posts. Now, I don't know if you have to like confirm your location or anything, but let's just claim that it's in fact not like, you know, there's a bunch of things. There's a bunch of little location markers in Gaza having different having different anecdotes. Like this one, here was our first date where we sat and talked about our childhood, queer culture, food, and bagpipes. This one's in Arabic. Cannot read that. Yeah, this one is obviously placed here from somebody outside. In solidarity with all my Palestinian brothers and sisters, you are all loved, free Palestine. So you don't have to like verify whether or not you're actually at that location, but you know, it would be a weird propaganda campaign to set these little dots on this website, in my opinion. Okay, it feels like it wouldn't be very, very effective. So that exists. Queer people exist everywhere, nonetheless. Anyway. Aiden says, I've been shaking a while, but I'm starting to stop because my muscles are tired. Yeah, well, that's good. Let's go. No more shaking because, well, it's a bit too tiring to shake all the time. That's one way to calm down, right? Because you're just too tired to do so. This was something that came out a little while ago, actually. I do want to talk about this still. This came out on October 23rd. This October, of course, last October. This Friday wasn't fun day. No, sorry. There's not that much fun to go around. Although Sunday fun day, that rhymes much better than Friday fun day. So Sunday fun day, where we do fun little elections. This map, gay. Good for them. Yeah, right? That map's so gay. So this was Israeli think tank lays out blueprint for the complete ethnic cleansing of Gaza. This basically came out at some point, I mean, obviously on October 23rd. There's a little update here. After this article was originally published, the Israeli outlet Calculist reported on a separate plan for the ethnic cleansing of Gaza that is being circulated by the Israeli Intelligence Ministry, headed by Gila Gamliel. The leaked document was reportedly created for an organization called the Unit for Settlement Gaza Strip and was not meant for the public. Well, happens anyway. More politics on Sunday, but like fun politics, yes. In the plan being proposed by the intelligence ministry, Palestinians in Gaza would be displaced from Gaza to the northern Egyptian Sinai Peninsula. In the report, the ministry described different options for what comes after an invasion of Gaza, and the option deemed as liable to provide positive and long-lasting strategic result was the transfer of Gaza's residents to Sinai. Which, again, that's not good either. Like, even if your plan isn't to kill everyone, displacing all people from their homeland is in fact also not good. The move entails 3 steps: the creation of tent cities southwest of the Gaza Strip, the construction of a humanitarian corridor to assist the residents, and finally the building of cities in northern Sinai. In parallel, a sterile zone several kilometers wide would be established within Egypt, south of the Israeli border, so that the evacuated residents would not be able to return. So they frame this like, oh, I'm thinking they're framing this in a way to seem more humanitarian, but in fact, this is also not a good thing. In addition, similar to the plan described in the original story below, the document calls for cooperation with other countries, in fact, as many as possible, so that they may absorb the Palestinians who have been uprooted from Gaza. Amongst the countries mentioned as possible sites for Palestinians from Gaza are Canada, European countries such as Greece and Spain, and North African countries. I'm sure Greece would love that. I'm sure Greece would love that a lot. The original article is this. It's a little long. I would like to just look at like parts of it. But let's look at like the intro at the very least. The Hamas attack on Israel towns surrounding Gaza on October 7th has provided a pretext for an unprecedented genocidal revenge campaign by Israel involving the massacre of now nearly 5,000 Palestinians, including over 2,000 children. That number rising as we speak, of course, and that may only be the beginning. Now, an Israeli think tank with ties to Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is promoting plans for the complete ethnic cleansing of Gaza. On October 17th, the Misgav Institute for National Security and Zionist Strategy published a position paper PDF. You can look at the PDF. Yeah, you can look at the PDF. It's not in English, but I think they're going to talk about that right now. Look, this is the paper. There's the paper. Advocating for the relocation and final settlement of the entire Gaza population. The report advocates exploiting the current moment to accomplish a long-held Zionist goal of moving Palestinians off the land of historic Palestine. The report's subtitle makes it clear. There is, at the moment, a unique and rare opportunity to evacuate the whole Gaza Strip in coordination with the Egyptian government. You know, that's the goal. That's the goal. Just take them all out of there. You posted a petition to politics to gather signatures to call upon Australian foreign minister to call for a ceasefire and an end to the madness and allow food and aid to go through. Let's go. Very nice. Bibi. Free Palestine in this economy? In this economy? Yes, please, actually. Yeah, I'm sure Greece is always great with refugees. I'm sure they would love to have more refugees. Greece loves that. Hi, Steamboat. Clarify, not my petition. Yeah, a petition that you saw. I'll see myself out now. Yeah, after that comment, you're no longer welcome here. How dare you? How dare you? I'll read a bit further. We're a little over time already, but that's okay. I mean, I don't have that strict of a schedule. The Misgav Institute is headed by former Netanyahu National Security Advisor Mir Ben Shabbat, who remains influential in Israeli security circles. The Institute's former chairperson and founding associates include Yos Hendel, chair from 2012 to 2019, a right centrist who was Minister of Communications intermittently in the years from 2020 to 2022, Moshe Yaalon, a former defense minister, and more people. The main arguments of the report, which the Institute highlighted in social media upon the report's release, are translated as follows. There's a need for an immediate viable plan for the resettlement and economic rehabilitation of the entire Arab population in the Gaza Strip. So yeah, it is very much just an ethnic cleansing. It is what it says on the tin, which sits well with the geopolitical interests of Israel, Egypt, USA, and Saudi Arabia. In 2017, it was reported that in Egypt there were 10 million available apartment units, of which half were built and half under construction. For example, in two of the biggest Cairo satellite cities, October 6 and Ramadan 10, there is an immense number of built and empty apartments under governmental and private ownership, as well as empty lots for buildings that would in total suffice the housing for about 6 million residents. Once again, don't send them out. The average cost of a 3-room apartment, an encouraging injection to the Egyptian economy at this magnitude would provide an enormous and immediate advantage to the Egyptian president, El-Sisi's regime. Such money sums compared to the Israeli economy are minuscule. Of course, because you're very strong economically, we know. The investment of a mere few billions of dollars, even if it's $20 or 30 billion in order to solve this difficulty issue is an innovative, cheap, and viable solution. They've got it. They can throw it around, I guess. There's no doubt that in order for this plan to be enacted, many conditions need to exist in parallel. At the moment, these conditions exist, and it is unclear whether such an opportunity will arise again, if at all. So they're basically just saying, okay, well, they have attacked us. Now we are able to completely remove them from the entire from the Gaza Strip, no matter how many casualties that may cause, I suppose. Ironic how they're thinking of doing this deportation when their ancestors, or not even ancestors, fucking grandparents or great-grandparents were themselves displaced. Yeah, very much so. It is extremely ironic, actually. It's extremely ironic. They don't care. They do not care. There's like a background to this and everything, and there's, that this is a pretty long article. I'm not gonna read you all of it, but that exists. That was leaked. The intentions are pretty clear. Victor, a few $1 billion, me opening my wallet wondering if I can have lunch today. Well, with Israel money you could. With Israel money you could have lunch today. Hope you have a good day, Victor. See you on Sunday for voting for chat union representative. Maybe. I think that would be a good idea. I want to get to my viewer question because somebody has asked me a viewer question. This is the question in question, and I would like to answer it. Even though I'm not super sure about my answer, but I'll try nonetheless. I'll read this and then I'll answer. And then we'll skip the bad news because fuck that. We don't want more bad news anyway. So, not saying who sent in this question because I don't know if they want me to tell that on stream or not. In the Discord you can see it if you care. Can you imagine if money spent on genocide was spent on feeding people? Nah. Will this be a 3-hour election thing on Sunday? Yeah, I'll make it 3 hours. Maybe we'll do like other stuff as well in the stream. It will not just be the election. We gotta do some other stuff additionally. But yeah, the election will be definitely like open. The poll will be open for about 3 hours, I think. Imagine if they renamed Israel to Isabel. Israel is like a nice name though. I've known like that can be a person name as well, right? On a lighter note, to bring some levity, I just remembered the name of this Toho Dojin music group that made a song I really liked. Oh, nice. Buta Otome. Recommend checking it out if you like the weeb music. I like some Toho music. I do. Give Israel money to Victor and Isabel. Give Israel money to Victor and Isabel. Exactly. So this question goes as follows. This has been weighing on my mind, so I'm hoping it's alright if I ask for your advice. Moi has a friend of a friend. Okay, that's important. Let me highlight these because we're gonna want to give good advice, right? Friend of a friend who lives in Israel as an Israeli citizen and also streams to an audience of 100 plus viewers and uploads content to 50k subscribers. So fairly sizable, okay. After not being able to stream and upload for a week or so because of the Hamas attacks, they later posted a message saying they and their family are doing okay. They also said that they would delete their post in a few days because they don't want to comment any further on the situation and would prefer that their channel be free of politics and that kind of content, in quotation marks. Election what? Yes, chat union representative. It's all in the politics thread on Discord. There's a thread in the politics channel. Instead, they advise their audience not to look at social media because of the horrible things that are being shown online, in quotation marks, and they wished for peace for everyone wherever they are. So like the typical like centrist kind of statement. Given that many are calling for people in the world to speak out against the occupation, suffering, and apartheid fostered by the Israeli state, plus the shutting down of people speaking up, e.g. Pulitzer Prize winning author Viet Thanh Nguyen's reading cancelled because he condemned Israel's indiscriminate violence against Palestinians in Gaza. What do you think or feel I should do? Should I respect said person's wishes and not ask them to reconsider their position? Also, I remember the boycott calls during Hogwarts Legacy controversy and people in the VTuber space criticizing their favorite streamers streaming the game and not expressing sympathy. Given the context and all, what advice do you have for people who want to talk to their apolitical online friends and communities, whether it be on YouTube, Twitch, or Discord, about the suffering of the Palestinian people and the need for a ceasefire and solidarity? Now, this is complicated. This is pretty complicated. But politics is everywhere. It is. I find this pretty complicated because, first of all, it's the friend of a friend, so it's not like a very close friend. I think if it was a very close friend, I would definitely talk to them about it, or like a friend. If you say it's a friend, I would definitely talk to them about it because, I mean, all of my friends, I feel like we just are a friend group where we do talk about these sorts of things a lot. The Hogwarts Legacy has nothing to do with this, don't worry. Okay, can we DM these types of questions? I mean, this person just posted it, and I'm like, oh, sure, I'll respond. I don't really do DMs a lot, so I would probably not look at it, but maybe I could, like, open an anonymous submission forum or something. Blank says, as much as I can't stand centrists, no one should ever be forced to have or even voice an opinion, in my opinion. It's like, tricky for me. It's a bit tricky, especially when you're a big streamer. That kind of changes things, that changes a lot of dynamics. I'm not 100% sure what you should do in this situation either. Like, I think it's good if you voice your opinion. I think it would be good for this person to obviously stand with Palestine. Now, it seems with the context given, maybe they wouldn't, in fact, stand with Palestine, so then that is something else again, right? I think the best you can do as a friend of a friend is, like, provide subtly as possible, provide some resources, like sending marshmallows. Yeah, exactly, like one of those sites. If you can send long messages there, that would be nice. I wanted to open one of those up, but then I didn't. Anyway, I think you should just continue talking about the issue on, like, your platform and everything, and maybe, like, give them a little bit of, like, suggested reading, if that's possible, if that makes sense in the way that you two communicate with each other, like, sharing TikToks or sharing anything that, like, is information that they can learn from about the conflict. And then if they decide to speak on it themselves, that would be good. But you can't really, I don't think in your position, you can't really be the one to influence them to speak about the matter. Maybe their audience might, if there's a lot of people in their audience who are like, hey, I want you to say something about this, then maybe they will say something about it. But other than that, I think saying they're against violence is about as good as you should expect from someone. Yeah, anything beyond that is, like, their personal choice. Zecke says, Isabel says, Zecke, I'd like to anonymously question you. I'd like an anonymous question thing you can read on Friday or something, or maybe like an end stream event. Yeah, right? It might be nice. Maybe I should set something like that up. Fuck, I need to write that down somewhere else. Plus questions. I wonder if I will know what I'm talking about when I look back at this. Maybe I'll write it. I mean, we're almost at the end of stream, so I find this issue very difficult. I just think it's nice. I think it's good for content creators to speak out. I'm generally always pro content creators speaking out on political issues, even if their main content isn't political. I think it's nice if they do that. It depends a bit on what the issue is, but especially for something like this, I find it quite easy, honestly, at this point. People like to claim it's complicated, the issue between, Israel and Palestine. I don't think it's very complicated at all, but especially with things like that are just more basic, like to understand which side is doing what. I think people should speak out on it, but you can't force people to speak out on it either. Aaron says, one is, I don't like this person with beliefs I don't like us making money off of a popular product based off an IP, and the other is people are dying and it's super heavy stuff. Yeah, the Hogwarts thing is just like tangentially related, if not at all. Yeah. I feel like it's not super complicated though. I feel like the issue is not as complicated as people like to make it seem out to be. Like, is the most important thing, there is a like layer of the matter being complicated underneath the thing that is happening right now, which is Israel is doing a genocide upon the Palestinian people. That is a fact. That is something that is happening right now. That is not very complicated. Now, the history as to why this and that started and why this and that started and who is involved in which way specifically. That is complicated, but that's not like, you don't need to know all that in order to stand up against the genocide that's happening. Blank says, especially as a larger online figure, taking a definite bold stance on a controversial political issue can open you up to a lot of ugliness. So I can fully understand people that want to stay away. I do too, though. Like, I feel like I used to be a little bit less accepting of wanting to stay out of it. But on some level, I understand it as well. Even if they have strong opinions privately. I just think if you do have strong opinions privately, maybe it's just nicer to say them out loud, even if that might have some repercussions for you. But at the end of the day, it's your decision. Yeah, and Israel is also hurting Orthodox Jews and everything. Not wanting people to die shouldn't be controversial. Exactly. Unfortunately, there are antis who will do anything and everything to get people off of platforms, or worse, like off themselves, etc., etc. Yeah. Like, that's very well said. That's very well said. That's why this issue is so difficult. I understand why this person has difficulty with it. Oh shit, my mom's coming home. I wanted to eat before walking Tenchi. Okay, I'll eat after walking Tenchi. That's fine too. So I think the TLDR is, especially because this person is a friend of a friend, I don't think you should press them too hard on it. Again, if you can like slightly put some information their way, like in a very chill sort of way, then maybe you can do that. But I don't think you're in the position where you can be very aggressive in your like, hey, you gotta speak out about this sort of thing, Yeah. You want ugliness on a similar level, being Taiwanese and mainland China, or leave them be. Fucking the Taiwan-China issue as well. Anyway, yeah, I also do not respect centrists in real life. But yeah, my mom is on the way home, so I will go now. Oh shit, you caught the stream. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't catch the stream. You didn't catch shit. Nothing. Yeah, I think this is also still stuck at the very start, or still stuck at the last time that I refreshed it because chat isn't working. Don't remove. Well, I mean, I could remove all of chat. You can see Tenchi in the background better if I remove all of chat. Crow, it's the end. Yeah, just in time for the end. I'm leaving. I have to go. I will end stream now. Lol. I'm typing to my mother. Oh God, I gotta go. Goodbye, gamers. Goodbye. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Did we cover everything in the document? Nope. Nope, we did not. I mean, my mom knows that I stream it. This sounds like I have like a secret or something. No, I just told her. But like, I need to walk Tenchi before my mom comes home. Poka, thanks for watching. I gotta go. Adieu. See you on Sunday for the election. See you on Sunday for the election. It's great. Thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for sharing your opinion. Thank you for, as per usual. Bruder muss los. Bruder muss los, indeed. Bye-bye. Ciao. Bye-bye.